You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Welcome in on a Tuesday, Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, and the Jags are in the playoffs. Clinched a playoff berth late last night when the fighting Phillip Rivers could not defeat the San Francisco 49ers. Colts looked pretty good for a large part of that game. So, main topic of conversation today is, well, will this Sunday's game for the Jacksonville Jaguars be potentially a little more difficult than maybe we thought if Phillip Rivers can't operate the offense like he did last night, at least for a half or so? But with that being said, we are focused on the Jacksonville Jaguars to start this show. Brent will be alongside us momentarily. But Austen, you had the benefit of being on the West Coast, so not sure if you watched the game last night.
I did.
But okay, so the Jags are in the playoffs, so I feel like we should just take a moment and soak that in. Not get on to the next quite yet, not get on to Indy yet, not who's going to be, who are we playing in the playoffs. You go back to the day that Liam Cohen was hired, or you go back at any point of the offseason, we all would have thrown a party to have this day today.
No, without a doubt, man. I don't think a lot of us expected to be here. I'm going to be honest, like I thought it might have been a wild card spot, but like that would have been a little wishful thinking. And I understand, it was like whatever, a 99% chance of making the playoffs regardless. But we've seen in this, in Jacksonville before, when you have a really good shot of making the playoffs, you don't necessarily always follow through. So I'm curious to see in terms of Liam Cohen and everything, like, will there be a celebration? Is it more business as usual, right? Because this isn't baseball, right? Like they're not going to be popping champagne in the practice locker room, finding out that they've made the playoffs per se. But I'm really curious to see what the response from Liam Cohen is here, right? Because he was given a team, from last year that didn't perform well. Yes, you had the draft, but let's be honest, a lot of those draft picks aren't really being used right now due to injuries and other circumstances. So this really falls more on coaching, and it falls on the culture that he's developed so far. So yeah, I think as Jaguars fans, I think we need to, because it's funny, Hamby, right? Like we're in December, and it's almost like we're expecting now for them to make a playoff run. Well, let's go back to that Houston game. Where were we then? It was like, can this team even make? Yeah, the season might have been done. Panic button was at an all-time high. So, yeah, man, I think it's important as Jaguars fans, you just stop for a second and just take in that, hey, you are a playoff team, when I think at least a lot of us thought during the season, man, it might be time to hit the panic button.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in Brent now. Brent, that soaked in yet for you?
Playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of felt like the Jags were already in. It was a little anticlimactic, with last night happening. It wasn't like, hey, pop the champagne, they're in, And I think now all the things Austen just said are right. Like, holy cow, look where they're at. In fact, that's going to be one of our countdown to kickoff stories this week, just working on that. It's like, where was this team a year ago? I was in Indianapolis on January, whatever, 4th, 5th, 3rd, whatever the last day was, snowing in Indianapolis, and stuck on a tarmac for 6 or 7 hours after that game, waiting for Doug Peterson to be fired. And then Doug Peterson gets fired, Trent Baalke stays, that whole thing ensues, and now we're talking about less than 365 days later. And in the middle of all that, yeah, positivity, what will the team look like? What do we have in store for the Jags? Like, hey, 9 wins would be great, right? We think they were way better than 4-win season. So, I don't think 8, 9, even 10 wins was totally out of the question at the start of this thing. I think the way it is right now just didn't seem realistic. To be at 11 with 2 to go and to be really, considered one of the best teams in the National Football League right now, the way they're playing and the way this season is shaking out. So, yeah, it's unbelievable. And I guess it's just, next year, Austen, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be like, wow, look what this team did. They're way ahead of schedule. Now they're a Super Bowl contender, and maybe they will be. But I also think we will be spending a lot of this offseason, regardless of what happens this year, with jubilation or disappointment over the next few weeks. And we're going to say, easy now. We've seen what happens after 2017. We've seen what happens after 2022. I think it's still, and you can go back to a show when Cohen and company got this thing going back in the spring, and I said, listen, I think this year there's a chance there are a lot of good things that happen. I think the true test of this new regime is going to be how long can they sustain it, right? What is sustainable here in Jacksonville? What is now, hey, they're here, they're arrived at the party, and they're going to be a factor year in and year out. And we're going to talk about that a lot in the offseason, regardless of what happens over the next few weeks.
No, without a doubt. But I just think with Liam Cohen, and, to go back to one of our old mantras for the team, it just feels different. Like, I think it does feel a little different in terms of how this team's responding to coaching, how they're playing for each other, how they're playing with this chip on the shoulder. Now, obviously, the big question next season is going to be, depending what happens this season and how far of a run you make, but when expectations are put out before you and teams are starting to, or teams like the media is starting to say, hey, this is a Super Bowl contender. Well, then how do you deal with being the front runner, right? And then I've spoken this many times. It's always harder to be a front runner that is an underdog, because it's easier to pull at motivation when no one believes in you. If people are starting to believe next year and believing in Trevor Lawrence and believing the offense and Liam Cohen and everything, then how does that team handle that? How does that team find that motivation? Because this team is a team that's been, steeped in trying to prove people wrong and trying to silence the doubters. What happens when the doubters all go away? And I understand Liam Cohen's been on record saying, they're never going to go away. It'll always be like that. And maybe to an extent. But depending on how you finish this year, depending what your last game looks like this year, is going to have, I guess next year, talk about the playoffs, is going to have a big effect in terms of, I think, the motivation and what do you rally behind when you're a front runner.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want some more motivation for the offseason for the next few weeks, I think we just got it in once again. And this also is congratulations to, guy like Liam Cohen, who's done a heck of a job with this football team, given the fact that there's one Pro Bowler on this football team as a starter. That's Ross Matisic once again at a long snapper. It just came out a couple moments ago. Ross Matisic's the only starter for the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have alternates, and that is Devin Lloyd, Travis Etienne, Parker Washington. Parker, by the way, is a kick return specialist, and Trevor Lawrence. So I don't know exactly what that alternate thing is. I'm assuming if it's, they already locked the alternates in. I guess they always do that. Yeah, they always do that. So these guys will be added, and who knows what number alternate they are. If players can't go because of injury or Super Bowl teams and everything else. And obviously you hope, hey, the Jags playing in the Super Bowl. Who cares about the Pro Bowl? That would be the ideal thing. The Pro Bowl this year actually is out in San Francisco too. So it's at the site of the Super Bowl. It's not in Orlando like it's been the last couple of years. So congrats to Ross once again. He's been a perennial guy now. The special teams getting it done once again here for the Jags. But I think this will be a little bit more, ammunition once again. And I'm not sitting here and telling you I can't believe it, the Jags don't have more Pro Bowlers. Like, I will say a little bit Devin Lloyd. I don't know how you can have a better season than Devin Lloyd's having. It's pretty hard to do. Now, maybe there are a lot of linebackers having great seasons, and I'm just not looking around the league. That one a little bit surprises me, Austin. I thought with all the big plays that he's made, highlight kind of plays on all the big shows, you would have thought maybe he got the nod after this big season.
The AFC starters at linebacker, or at middle linebacker specifically, are Azeez Al-Shaair and Roquan Smith.
Yeah, listen, it's not the best players playing in the Pro Bowl. It never has been. Yeah. It's always been a popularity contest, and whether you want to take a percentage of the fan vote, or if you want to go to, what those, at least back when I played, what those players' meetings look like when they're voting for their Pro Bowlers, like it's not what you think it is. It's not someone standing up there going, hey, so let's go over the stats, let's go over the analytics, go over the PFF numbers and say who the best linebackers are. Let's watch some film. It's like, all right, what do we want from our division? Okay, what do we not want from our division? We don't like this team, so let's not vote for them. Like, It's all part of it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, this can be a little bit of an added motivation for Liam Cohen and this team, and as it should be, right? Pick apart whatever you can. I mean, obviously, the Skip Bayless video that's been circulating, they're going to use that as they should, because now we're talking about the heavy hitters are running their mouths. So that's great to see.
Calling Skip a heavy hitter is just funny to me. You're not wrong, but it's just...
I mean, he's not. We celebrated a dude who I still even know from Fox Sports. So
what's his first name?
I've heard of Skip Bayless. Is it Mike? Michael?
Is it Mike?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, whatever. See, that's how much I care about it. But yeah. So, it's a popularity contest. I'm really curious to see when the All-Pro voting comes out, if any Jaguars can make that. Maybe Devin Lloyd can find himself in that conversation. And shout out to Ross Matzik. I mean, I think Devon Hamilton should have been an alternate then too as long snapper. So it is what it is there. But Ross is a great guy, man. I got to do a show with him for a little bit. He's a little bit of a silent assassin, man. He's really unassuming. Like he's probably the most intense long snapper that I ever met. Like I've hung out with a couple of them. Jeremy Kane, we've been on a couple teams together. He's a great dude. You get the sense that the whole whatever, it was like a judo throw body toss that he had. I guess that would have been against Tennessee when Logan Cook was threatening families and lives and everything. Hey, dude's the real deal, man, and dude's a baller. So props to him for getting that Pro Bowl.
And by the way, he's a very good player at that position. Like, I don't know exactly how you quantify that all the time, but just the other day, he was first down on a tackle. I mean, that guy can really play at that spot. He's battled through some injuries too. He's good. The Jags special teams unit, I think it was a big deal against Denver. I think it's going to continue to be a big deal. And I think really the cool part here, again, Trevor works his way into an alternate spot. He's got everybody's attention at the quarterback position. I mean, he basically did that in his 5-6 week span tops. So good for him. I think ETN has really earned it. I know the numbers aren't gaudy the last few weeks, but I really think that's a nice nod for him to be involved in the Pro Bowl, because I think people recognize what he did, especially in the first half of the year. Lloyd is obvious, but I really think the cool one, man, is Parker Washington. People recognizing Parker Washington's ability as a return man. Mm-hmm. He had 2 touchdown returns, which I do think leads the NFL in punt returns. He had a third one called back on a bogus call, really, if you remember that one. So, I mean, he's been obviously very good in the receiving game. He got there because of the kick return specialist, at least under that category. By the way, he will be our guest tonight on Jaguars All Access, a Tuesday edition at String Sports Brewery in Jack's Beach tonight. Jack's Beach location tonight. We had a big-time party last night, man. Holy cow, that place was packed. Hopefully we do it again tonight for Parker Washington. But, Austin, I feel that's pretty cool for Parker, a guy that's been overlooked, guy that's really been one of the gems that you've asked for, I think, for Trent Baalke, right? Where are his picks that have really paid off late? He's a 6th-round guy. People were excited about Parker the day he got drafted, and he has now lived up to it and really developed, and you almost feel like this dude's got to be a part of it for a long time to come here in Jacksonville.
No, without a doubt. And it was really cool to see, obviously, against the Broncos, where the unexpected guy has the biggest day. And that's kind of who he's always been. He's been a guy who's minded his time, lost in the conversation sometimes. We have Brian Thomas Jr. and then Jacoby Myers and then Brenton Strange. I don't think Parker Washington gets enough love sometimes, and it's cool to see him get it there in the voting. Who got in over him then for the starter? Was it DK?
That's a good question. Probably, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you know, Hamby? Have you seen it?
I've seen every other position but special teams.
Okay,
being posted.
Yeah, we'll find out. I don't know who got it in over him. But DK, I think, led the league by a good chunk in return yards. So that might have been the case. Might have been the Jets. Could have been the Jets guy too. He's been pretty good. So yeah, I'm not sure. But either way, I mean, hey, I think Parker epitomizes this team. Think about this, Austin, the last few weeks, and this is where maybe Cohen is really special in this sense too, but also what the Jags have built in a short order or maybe longer than we think. Last week it was Parker Washington. The week prior to that, it was really Travis Etienne in the passing game. He had 73 yards. The backs had 4 touchdowns. The week before that, it was Tim Patrick had I think him and Brian Thomas Jr. both had a pretty good days. And the week before that, it was Jacoby Myers leading the way with 90 yards against the Titans. I mean, it's really that's what this team offers you. It's like, who's going to step up? Defensively, we say the same thing about the secondary, right? I mean, is it going to be Jordan Lewis? Is it going to be Jarian Jones? Is it going to be Wingard? Is it going to be Murray? Is it going to be Antonio Johnson? Is it going to be Buster Brown? I mean, a lot of different players in those two areas specifically. The pass catchers and also those secondary guys stepping up and making the play. And then we can continue to go down the list if we want defensive front stuff. But I think Parker really epitomizes what this team is about, along with a bunch of other guys that we talk about on a daily basis. But really good stuff.
No, it's great stuff. And, just when you talk about the ball distribution on offense, it's exactly what you want right now. Because if you look at teams and listen, there's like the Rams, right? With Puka. You have to get Puka the ball, right? Well, that works out well for the Rams. They score points because of it, because nobody can seem to figure out the Rubik's Cube that is Puka Nacua. But if you go to other places like Philly, they're kind of faltering right now a little bit, or they don't necessarily look like themselves, because I feel like there is more added pressure to try to get the targets to A.J. Brown, right? Because he's been calling for him. I think in Pittsburgh, there was added pressure to get the ball to DK Metcalf because he's so outspoken. And in that locker room, I'm sure he was saying, hey, give me the ball more. Now, you won't be getting the ball for 2 more weeks because he's been suspended. But I think in Jacksonville, it's different. In Jacksonville, it's just Liam Cohen taking what the defense gives him. And I think that's a skill that's not always appreciated on NFL teams. But take the Broncos game, for example. The plan from the Broncos was to obviously take away Jacoby Myers. They double-teamed him a little bit. They put Patrick Surtain on Brian Thomas Jr., even though I probably wouldn't have done that, but they wanted to take the long ball away. And in all that mix and everything of trying to take Travis Etienne away in the flats, they forgot about Parker Washington. So then Parker Washington feasted. I don't know what the game plan was. Hey, let's get Parker Washington the ball. Let's get him a monumental day. I just feel like it was more of, well, if the Broncos don't want to cover Parker Washington, let's get Parker Washington the ball. And great things happen. So I would much rather have that type of offense right now where you can just distribute the ball, you can trust on everybody, as opposed to having that true wide receiver where, well, we got to get him the ball where he's probably not going to be happy.
Yeah, I said this a little bit yesterday. I think I was thinking of it yesterday. If you really think about how this team goes, take that, it was a terrific win on Sunday. I mean, just an unbelievable win. We're talking about one of the best regular season wins in franchise history. I mean, think about that. That's 30 years of history. And there have been some good years in Jacksonville. I know it doesn't seem like it, but there have been. And then you ask yourself, you're like, all right, who are the great players of that game for the Jags? Well, you got 2 on offense specifically, right? You got Trevor Lawrence and you've got Parker Washington really jump out, I'm saying. Now, we can dig deeper and tell you more. I'm just saying, when you really take a look at that game, you're like, wow, who played awesome? And those 2 guys did. I don't know if anybody else on offense you'd be like, holy cow. And
I thought Cole Van Lannon did pretty good, because we didn't mention Nick Benito a lot. So
yeah, we didn't. I think I look back, he had 6 pressures. I don't know if you believe those numbers or not, but I agree with you that they didn't mention Benito a lot. So probably right that you could go the offensive line. But again, not a spot that everybody's going to go to anyway. It's like mentioning Devon Hamilton played well,
Mm-hmm.
And then on defense, though, is defense, Jarian Jones gets the pick. I have no idea if he played well the entire game. I just know he got the pick. I think Trayvon I noticed a bunch. I thought when there was pressure and some things, I thought Trayvon was moving all around. But my point here, Austin, is it's not boom, 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 boom. Look at those guys, your stars. If you were Denver, you'd be like Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, R.J. Harvey. Maybe it's a Benito. You'd go Patrick Surtain. You'd go list 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. I think a lot of teams are built that way. I don't necessarily think the Jags are built that way. I mean, they are. What have they had? 2 100 pass catchers? 2 or 3 100-yard pass catchers? Travis Hunter, Parker Washington?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
All season? I mean, Etienne does not run for over 100 yards very much.
Almost
right?
never.
Almost never. And, I mean, you just don't have a lot of 2-3 sack games from your guys as well. You've got a lot of steady play. It's a very interesting team. To me, they epitomize team. They epitomize
has
what the game
2
is all
games
about.
over 100 yards, and it was week 1 and 4, Panthers and 49ers.
And by the way, this is not a knock. I'm just saying that's a good thing. That's why this team is good. Because they go way. I mean, the whole raise the floor thing is really starting to come to fruition here. I mean, they have really jumped up the elevator shaft a few floors with what they've built, because they've got just so many dang contributors, Austen, that if a guy goes down, you feel pretty good about the next guy coming in.
No, and that's what a team should be, right? Where I feel like if some teams lose a star player here or there, they're completely different. And obviously, knock on wood, you don't want to see the Jaguars lose anybody for this run coming up. But you feel like if one player goes down or if one player is out for a half, somebody can come in and obviously take over. Now, obviously, the quarterback is different, but every other position you feel pretty confident in.
Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. Jaguars are in the playoffs. They got that last night with the Colts loss. And just a quick thought on that. How do you think this impacts the Colts next week? Do you think Rivers is going to play? They are mathematically still alive, but I'm telling you guys, like, they need stuff like the Dolphins to win, I think, twice, or the Raiders to beat somebody in like the last week of the year or something. It's like way down the tiebreaker sheet that they would need to have Houston lose both games, and they would need to win both games. So they are still in it. Do you think it's going to be, I think Anthony Richardson could even come back. Do you think it'll be Riley Leonard? Do you think it'll be Phillip Rivers once again? Is Rivers starting this game?
Yeah, listen, if you have 2 games left, and I don't know what the percentages are or anything, but if you have 2 games left and you're mathematically still in the playoffs, then yeah, roll out the entire team that can help you win a football game if you're the Colts. And I think Phillip Rivers last night, they didn't get the dub, but I think he showed he's more than capable of putting up points on the scoreboard. So, do I think the Jaguars can still win that game? Absolutely. But like, do you go to that game last night against the 49ers and the Colts and say, okay, do we maybe have to respect Phillip Rivers a little bit more now? Do we have to respect this Colts offense a little more now? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was pretty damn good. What he just did last night was freaking impressive. How he got out of bed last week after the game was impressive enough to me. But it was pretty good. And San Francisco's really beat up. Their defense isn't great. I get it, but it doesn't matter. He's still, you have to respect it. I actually think it's a really good thing that just happened for the Jags, Austen, because they won't sleep on Rivers based on, they got tape.
They're like, oh, holy cow.
Yeah, they got tape that would be like, that's pretty good stuff. Now, I think this defense is a lot better than San Francisco's defense, the way they are right now. So I think they can hopefully cause some fits.
No, I hear you, but we just gave up 400-something points too against Bo Nix. So I think you still have to take it pretty seriously of what Phillip Rivers can do. And I don't know. I guess I take Cortland Sutton and that Broncos wide receiving core over the Colts, but it may be a little close, especially with Tyler Warren. Now it seems like they're going to him a little more. So you got to take him seriously as well.
Yeah, I think that the thing about this game, and again, we're on a short week, so we can talk about this game a little bit. Short week for us. What I think is the difference here, Austen, between, say, the Broncos and the Jags, there's really not a big threat for the long game with Rivers. He's throwing lollipops out there and the timing and everything. And then also he can't run. So, Nix was a threat with his legs to move and everything else, to really roll the pocket. And then, of course, the deep ball. Think about the play that that had me nuts when Antonio Johnson, at least it looked like he gave up the one long play later in the game for 48 yards. The Colts can't call that play. They don't have that play in the playbook.
Well, they tried, and they ain't hitting it.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers rolling out, first of all, to get there and create the space. And then I don't think he can get it down the field like that. I just don't. And it's not a knock on him. It's unbelievable what he's doing. But I don't think you have to defend that, is my point, Austen. And right now, Jonathan Taylor, people have obviously been loading the boxes, and Taylor's been a little more sluggish the last handful of weeks.
He's been a little more sluggish. And I don't want to call it a giant worry because I'm very confident in this Jaguars team taking on the Colts. But I think, he's not mobile out of the pocket. But I think where you can try to exploit the Jaguars defense a little bit is in the check down. It's something that the Colts didn't do the first time that they played against, the Jags. And what was RJ Harvey's numbers in terms of receiving? Because he had a pretty good day, if I'm not mistaken, just in the check down. Do we have the numbers in front of us?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I thought they should have thrown it to him more, to be honest with you. I thought they abandoned that. I felt like he had 15 catches at one time. I looked up, he only had 4.
He had 4 for 71 with that 32-yard long.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he had a lot more receptions, but it was just a lot of yardage. Yeah, that's the thing that you got to take into account with Jonathan Taylor, where I agree that they can't really go with the deep ball right now, obviously with Phillip Rivers, But I still think he has his accuracy, and I think he still has his wits about him. So if you start implementing the Jonathan Taylor check down like they should have, the first time against the Jags, that might come back to hurt you a little bit. So yeah, I think a defense right now that has given up a lot of yards against the Broncos, a bend don't break mentality. They got to bring their A game against the Colts, because the Colts, even though they can't beat you with the deep threat, they can still beat you in a myriad of ways.
Yeah, totally different deal up in Indy, by the way. The Jags haven't had as much luck. They play better up there, and Jonathan Taylor plays better against the Jags up there. So this will be an interesting one. You've got to balance a bunch of things. You now take the breath and play and make the playoffs. You also really are starting to get the attention. You think you're pretty good. Those things. And you've got, I think, always a road game around the Christmas holiday, before or after. Jaguars got 2 of them right around the Christmas holiday. I think is a bigger thing to juggle than a lot of people think. With all, especially this time of year, from injuries to how you feel to family in town to all these other deals. I think those are just things that, think about you and your life, that throws you off maybe just a little bit. It's not a bad thing. Throws you off a little bit. These guys are trying to stay locked into the task. They've done a great job of it. But do you open the window for a little bit of an exhale, right? A little bit of a breath. And that's what I thought the Jags had an opening with the Broncos last week, because they could exhale just a tiny bit. They had qualified for the playoffs. Jags can kind of do that now too. And you don't want to open that door. You want to keep playing well. Do I think that's going to happen? I would say no, based on the edge that Liam Cohen has and what he's been able to provide this team. I do still think it's a trickier thing to navigate just from a human nature standpoint, albeit I would say the Jags just feel a lot better than the Colts right now. I mean, the way they're playing, I think that's pretty obvious situation. We will take a timeout. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. And we will talk a little bit more about Indy. Again, we're on a short week. This will be it for the week for us. College football playoff, what will it look like this weekend? Or in a couple weeks, sorry, not this weekend. And what is that? Don't call me that name.
The guy called him his first name by his legal name.
That's how the fight started.
Oh, yeah, up in Detroit. Okay, I was like, what is the Steelers one? I missed that. I got you now. DK Metcalf, of course, that situation. We're going to the Judge is back today, right before the holiday, and weekend spreads as well. We'll try to fit it all in here on a Tuesday on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going.
Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hi, there's Travis Hunter. Enjoying it. That he was on crutches when I saw him. I didn't see him. I haven't seen him at all. But I think he was on crutches in the picture. I think James Palmer might have pushed that one out. And then he was hanging out, obviously, up there with the practice squad guys and having some fun. It's good to see Travis Hunter and that smile, man. It's weird not to see him around. It's such an it's going to be such a big story all off season. And it's an interesting one that it hasn't really been a story, because that's what winning does and everything else. And we've had conversations about it. But hopefully he continues to feel good, get good. And it's about a 6-month recovery, I think, if I remember correctly. So he's probably about 6 weeks into it or so, almost 2 months. We'll see how it goes for Travis Hunter. Brent Martineau here, Austen Lane in Colorado. Nice day out there again, I bet, right?
Beautiful day out here. The wind has died down immensely. So yeah, it's it couldn't be better right now, honestly. Yeah, I just woke up like literally, like an hour ago because the time difference. But yeah. After the show, I'll definitely go venture out and check some things out.
I like the mountain time, by the way. I was telling Stuart that, and mountain time to me is a pretty good mix. Like the 1 hour Central is whatever. It feels like you're almost on Eastern time anyway. It just kind of throws you off. The 3 hours can be a lot, especially for the stuff we do. Like we'll have to get up and do like a pregame show from the road at 8:30 in the morning. Like the 9:30 one, the 2 hour window, just seems like it's just not a bad fit. Like I kind of like mountain time.
No, like it definitely when it comes to sports as well. Like I'm not trying to hate on the East Coast or anything like that, but there's something to be said like when a Monday night game starts at like 8-ish something and then you got to like stay up till 11 to watch it. I would much rather have it start around dinner time. You finish when you're done eating. You still got a couple hours to decompress and everything. Like, I do appreciate the East Coast. I like being on the Atlantic Ocean, but I feel like in terms of sports times and everything, I think the Mountain and the West Coast does it a little better.
Yeah, I like that too. I was just thinking, I was talking to somebody in the when I was grabbing coffee, and it hit me as they said, like, man, Jags really have themselves a really good coach, and I was like, yeah, they do. I said, but what's interesting is 3 out of the last 4 coaches the Jags have had have made it to the postseason in year 1. Doug Marrone, obviously not Urban, but Doug Peterson, and now Liam. I mean, that's pretty wild, right? But I think that punches home what we were saying a little earlier. It's cool. This is awesome. A great start. All that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, enjoy the hell out of this right now, and you should. But where does it go after is going to be a question of the offseason. Travis Hunter is going to be a question of the offseason. That is going to be a question of the offseason. And I just think that's pretty wild. Like 3 out of the last 4 coaches, Chad's probably like, nailed it. Got it right? I set it up right. And then, like, you look up whatever it is, 8 months later or 3 months into the next season, you're like, oh, crap. Here we go again. Yeah. And I do remember talking to Shad in London, Austin, and having that perspective where I think that's maybe where he's learned a bunch, because even when the Jags got off to that start in London, I think they were – remember what their record was when we were in London? I can't remember now. But whatever they were off to a nice start. And he did not get excited about it. He was just like, we've been here before. Right? We've been here before. Not getting excited about it. And I kind of felt like he was referencing the 8-3 season of 23, but also the 18 season of 3-1 off the rip. But in reality, he might have been also referencing like, hey, he might have the same mentality about it when we talk to him after this season or in March or whatever else. Like, all right, that was awesome, but we've been here before. Let's make sure, how do we now get it to the next level? Because they've been chasing sustained success for a long time in Jacksonville, and we'll see if they can do it. But, hey, you can't have sustained success until you get off to a nice start. So we'll take the good start and the 11 wins for now, even if they maybe sped up the process a little bit too much in the process.
No, I mean, obviously they did speed up the process and everything, but it's going to be an interesting, and once again, like let's just focus on being cool in the present and enjoying the playoffs. But, I think with James Gladstone, now the question is going to be of who you all keep. And that's a question that, we haven't asked as Jaguars fans, I feel like in a long time, is all right, which key players are you willing to sacrifice and maybe let walk? And what key players does that have to be essential to bring back? Because it's the NFL, and no team's gonna be the same going in every single season. So the team that you see right now that's making this run, it will be different next year, and you could be missing some key pieces next year that have to be replaced. So that's going to be now the question going forward is, what is that going to look like? And obviously, like, with James Gladstone, it's a pressure to, okay, you have to bring the roster up so you can win football games. Well, mission accomplished already. You're winning football games. Now, how do you keep that roster intact, and how do you keep the right pieces? So when you go into next season, you're not going to lose maybe some of your leadership. You're not going to lose some of the spark that you had this season.
Yeah, and well, part of that will be the quarterback. If he continues to play like this and this well, then how, you feel like you're in a really good spot, because now you've got that guy being one of your best players, or maybe your best player. And I think that's a little bit of kind of what we've been waiting for, Austin. I mean, that there's a few things on Trevor that I think everybody's talking about Trevor now. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at Trevor. Wow, well, the numbers are unbelievable, all this. But I think, this is where we get to see the sample of a game against Denver that you put the ball in his hands and you said, hey, we need you to win this game for us. And he was able to do it. I think, man, that's a big deal. I said yesterday, I've been saying the last couple of days, I think the cool part about Trevor is the stage ain't big for him now. He's been on the stage, and you handle Monday Night Football against the Chiefs, played a really good football game in that game. Looked different, but he played a really good football game in my opinion. Then you go to the AFC South, basically championship on the line potentially with the Indianapolis Colts. Delivers again. And then, of course, Sunday against the Broncos. And and if you even go back to a couple years ago, like the Monday night stage, he was playing excellent in that 8-3 game against the Bengals. He was having a game before he got hurt. And you go to the Chargers game where he got off to obviously the crappy start in the playoffs, but he leads them back and plays well. I think that's a little bit taken for granted sometimes. And maybe we can start bringing that back up about Trevor, like his success and his ability to win, and where he's been at the top of the heap for a lot of his life in high school and also in college, where you've got a guy here that does not mind that stage at all. And that can lead you to some big things this time of year in the NFL.
No, without a doubt. And I think it's gonna lead you to some big things in the playoffs as well. Because if you look at this AFC picture right now, okay, you have, the New England Patriots. They're a good team. They play complementary football. They have a quarterback who hasn't really experienced the playoffs yet. How's that going to go? You have the Chargers. You have a quarterback who I don't think has won in the playoffs yet. So how is that going to go? You go to Pittsburgh, and obviously Pittsburgh has Aaron Rodgers and, obviously a lot of experienced Super Bowl winning quarterback, but like, how much does he have left in the tank? Right? Like to me, outside of, I guess you would say Josh Allen, these and obviously Aaron Rodgers, but like these quarterbacks are unproven really in terms of what they're capable of in the playoffs. Like I get CJ Stroud has a playoff win and everything, but does CJ Stroud scare you right now? Like if you're going to do quarterback power rankings when the playoffs start in terms of who you're more confident in, like, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I think, has to be up there simply because of, number one, how he's playing right now, but number two, his playoff experience as well.
Yeah. Do you get the sense right now that he's in a zone, or he's just like found his groove in terms of playing? Because to me, there's a little bit of a difference, and I don't know if you can get in a zone in the NFL because it's week to week. If you got a basketball player and they're going to play 4 games in the next 8 days, right? And you can be hot shooting the basketball, and Steph Curry's just out of his mind or whatever. Or you can do it within a game. You can absolutely do it within a game. I think on Sunday, Trevor got hot for like 9 straight completions. You have that, but. And I guess that's our curiosity, right? I mean, is this finding something, and now the confidence and all those other things that go into it that make you play really good football, and that gives you confidence that it's here to stay for longer. Even if you say have a bad game or a bad quarter or whatever, you can bounce back into where this is where you play, or is it more of like, I might just be in a freaking zone right now and seeing things really well. And all athletes go through that at the lowest of levels to the highest of levels.
No, I mean, I said it, yesterday, and I'll say it again. I just think that he has the keys to the car now. I think when Liam Cohen, kind of made it apparent that he has to let it rip, I think that was Liam Cohen telling him, like, this is your offense. And I think since then, that it's been apparent that he has been kind of the leader of this offense, and it is his offense to run. I think players around him have rallied behind it, and I think players now have accepted it of this is our captain, this is our leader. And I think you've seen it now in Trevor's demeanor as well. A classic example would have been that run against the Broncos, get that touchdown, just the emotion that he showed. This is a different guy now, and I think this is a different guy who has supreme confidence because he was told that this is yours. Like you've earned it. You put the work in. Now go make the right calls, make the right plays. But like, this is your team. And I think in doing that, the team has rallied around him. That's been all the difference in the world. I think before it was more of he's just trying to find his way and fit in the system and do what's asked of him. And now it's his for the taking.
Yeah, I said this a couple years ago when Trevor was playing pretty good football, Hamby. I said, like, he's very comfortable in this position, and it's a weird thing to kind of eloquently say, but my point is when people are talking about him, it's not like he wants the spotlight. It's not it. It's not a selfish thing like, oh, please talk about me. It's more like, this is what my normal life has been for like 7 years in high school and in college. This is my comfort zone. Sure. When everybody's talking about me playing good football, because that's what he did all his life. And so I think we've had glimpses of that, again, late 22 especially, where people are doing that. And I was like, man, that's why he's grooving right now, because that's not like too much for him. That's like actually in his normal space. Mm-hmm. This other stuff throughout his career has really been the abnormal space, the lack of continuity, the inconsistent play, some of the criticisms, whatever else. And so now you're almost like you're seeing a Trevor right now where I think he's actually in his realm, like in his comfort zone. Sure. No, of course, everybody's going to be comfortable if they're playing well. They're confident. I understand that. I'm just saying this is a guy that's lived in that space. I think Austen just said it about Drake May. Like, Drake May's been a really good athlete, all this stuff, but he hasn't lived in the space Trevor's lived in his entire career. Right. So, like, how will he handle it? And he might handle it fine, but how will he handle it? So I always think that's like a little kind of subtlety about Trevor when he plays like this. It's like, man, this, like, he feels good. Like, he doesn't look any different to me at all. Like, he's not smiling bigger. He's not saying different things at the podium. He's not walking with a different swagger. Like, he just looks like the same dude because this is pretty normal to him. But I think Austen brought up a good point, and it's made its rounds. I actually thought it was like AI at first on the pregame, where like talk in the huddle.
Oh, yeah. Everybody been talking about this defense.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about this defense. Throws a couple of swears in there. Late in the locker room, I think he threw an F-bomb in there at the end when the Jags showed that. Austen just talked about the running in for the touchdown, right? Like he let out some emotion there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little bit different now. We haven't seen a lot of that from Trevor.
I don't know. I feel like that. I didn't see that and be like, well, that's different to me. I mean, the guy, every time he scores a rushing touchdown, I feel like we get a let's effing go. I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. I just thought, it seems like it's kind of on par. Like we just don't get those videos a lot from him talking in the tunnel necessarily every week or anything like that. But I think he's kind of showing the exact same emotion as he normally would. I think he's very confident. What you're seeing is a confident football player. And maybe that is just the only difference. He's playing with more confidence and comfortability now than he ever has, not because of the moment, because like you said, he's always been comfortable in the moment, but just within the offense and in himself, knowing that, yeah, we're probably going to go put up 34 points today. And yeah, I feel like I can, I'm going to go throw 3 touchdowns, and I feel like I'm seeing the field really well. I just don't think there's a meter on the level of confidence a quarterback feels when they feel they're seeing the field well. Like I don't think that really can be put into words. The difference between when they're when they see it clean as day and when maybe it's a little muddy.
So I think it's not the biggest difference, but I think one of the differences is obviously it's Liam Cohen. It's the influence Liam Cohen has had on Trevor Lawrence. But I think if you listen to press conferences this year and compare them to last year's, or if you look at like Trevor's demeanor a couple years ago compared to now, for instance, remember when Trevor Lawrence went on Twitter and had like the whole, because people were talking smack, so he had the whole whatever note checking thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was Trevor, I think, trying to go, okay, people are talking, let me go out and shoot them. But like I don't think he had the proper way to channel that frustration. He didn't know what to do, right? Because I feel like he had a coach that necessarily didn't play into the whole narrative of you got to, listen to the haters, let the haters be your motivation. I think Liam Cohen comes in and he hears some of the outside noise about his quarterback and everything, and hears some of the outside noise about the offense, especially early on in the season. And now it's like, well, hey, it's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to take some of that, the outside noise in and use it to your advantage. And that's what I think Trevor Lawrence has done this year more than any other year, that he's channeled it in the right directions. Instead of just going on Twitter and posting something cryptic here and then kind of just being left to your own devices because you don't have a coach that maybe supports that type of behavior. Now he has a coach that does. And I think the press conferences speak that. I think the attitude, the pregame or when he scores a touchdown, I think it is different. And I think that's just Liam Cohen providing him a little more of a spark and a little more of an aggression to say, go out there and take what's yours. We were critical. Like we knew Trevor Lawrence isn't going to ever be Baker Mayfield. He's not going to be breaking down every single huddle and cussing and doing all this stuff and grabbing his crotch at the sidelines of the opposing team. Like that's not what Trevor Lawrence is, right? And
that would be unbelievable, though.
It would. Listen, if you're in an AFC, conference championship or whatever, and you're grabbing your crotch at somebody, more power to you. But like we all suspected that he was never going to be like that, right? But I think he has taken steps this year of showing a little more fire, and I think the guys in that locker room have rallied behind that.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. You're right. There's so much made, too, of, like, Liam and his relationship. We get these questions a lot in, like, pulling out some of the, passion from Trevor. And, this has been a long part of it. Like, Doug Peterson really wanted Trevor to just grab the face mask, man, of somebody and be like, what the heck are you doing, right? Like, if Travis Hunter run a wrong route or Parker Washington lines up wrong or whatever, just what the heck, like that kind of thing. We have seen him get a little pissy at times this year. We're not seeing that, but we have seen him do a little bit more of that. But I think to Austen's point, to Hamby's point, to everybody, we know this. Like, it's really hard to do exactly what you want to do until you're playing the way you want to play. Like, even in that position, it's really hard to fake it. if you're not getting it done as the leader of the football team to the best of your abilities. Now he's in a spot where he could yell at somebody right now. He probably could have before, and they'd been all right with it because I think they really respect him. But he now can, if he wants to do that. He's not going to probably grab a face mask, but if he wants to chew somebody out or get pissed about it or whatever else.
Case in point last night, Brent. Phillip Rivers, false start on the right tackle, and Phillip Rivers spikes the ball and gets, right up to him and, let's freaking go. Come on.
Yeah.
Gonsalves or whatever his name is, right tackle when they were trying to run that 2 minute. I think it was before the half or something. Phillip Rivers has that equity, though, even though he's only been back for 2 weeks.
Well, it's kind of
he's
interesting.
also a psycho.
Yeah, he is. Well, you know that.
He probably played with that guy 5 years ago.
Well, it's interesting that he did that because I've actually noticed that, Austen, about Phillip Rivers. I'm like, man, I get that they respect him, but, he's known these guys for 10 days. And he is pretty, his body language is, he's about to go kill somebody.
Dude's a psycho. Yeah, he's an absolute psycho.
He probably wouldn't be playing the way he did if he's not a psycho, I guess.
No, and listen, I mean that with all due respect, right? That's just who he is, though. He's psychotic.
Yeah. One thought about just the whole relationship between him and Cohen, Trevor and Cohen, is I just had somebody this week too was kind of just laughing off so much about what everybody made of the Cincinnati thing, the whole chess, thing, the exchange with Liam, and they're just laughing, everybody, the way people perceive it, right, versus the reality of what actually happened in that situation, and everything else is so, can be so far apart. And they're not going to go squash everything too, but it was just interesting. Now that's 3 months ago, somebody was just kind of talking to me about it, and it's fascinating how some of those things manifest into storylines. Some can be real, and some often are not. We just asked about Trevor. I want to ask you about Liam. How much is he in his bag right now? Because I guess a play caller can get in the zone too. You talk about a guy that also is trying to feel this thing out and get more and more comfortable. And what do I say about him a lot? I'm like, damn, this thing is not too big for him. But it doesn't mean he can't be more and more comfortable, Austen, right? On the sideline, in his role, on the headset, navigating a football game. Remember, it's still the first time he's ever done this, which leads me to believe, and I don't think we think of coaches this way, Austen, but leads me to believe he's much better at it probably here in December than he was even in September.
No, without a doubt. And once again, this I think this comes to one of his greatest abilities to adapt, right? And I think he made a lot of strides when he decided to let the defense be the defense and let me just focus on the offense. And it's paying dividends, right? Because being a play caller and a head coach, it's taxing, especially for your first go around, right? Yeah. So it's definitely a learning experience, and you're learning on the fly. But there's not a lot of comparisons between Liam Cohen and Andy Reid, just because obviously I think personality wise they're two very different people. But I think he's starting to have the Andy Reid effect now, where it's important to motivate players, to show the clips of everyone talking smack about you. But it's even just as important, or even more important, to have the scheme ready to go, to have the X's and O's ready to go that's going to have success, right? Because that's where players buy in the most. You can give the rah-rah speeches. You can show the highlight films in the hotel before the game. You can, talk about all this stuff and get players motivated. But if you're not executing on the field, if you're not putting up points, eventually that just kind of goes by the wayside. There's plenty of great motivators, Gus Bradley being one of them, that are great at rallying guys, but you still have to produce on the field to get the best out of them. I think right now we're seeing Liam Cohen, and in terms of his play calling, dial up some great things, scoring a lot of points, and that's what the players are buying into.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I know you love the X's and O's part of it, Hamby. Just a real quick thought. I mean, some of the stuff now, because I see all these breakdowns, and now the Jags are getting broken down by a lot of people, not just some kid eating Cheetos in his basement, but which, by the way,
Film Watchers one.
Which, by the way, I love that guy, that Film Watchers guy, and I'm not sure I was referencing him, but there are others that I'm like, okay, this guy's really just a fantasy football dude. But I mean, you're starting to see some of these breakdowns and people that played the position, from a Kurt Warner to others, and it is pretty incredible right now how much the Jags really have a good head coach in terms of schematically what they're doing and some of the feel that he has. We talked about this a bit yesterday. When you go 4 for 5 in the red zone against the best red zone defense in the league, to me, you won the chess match. Right. You're figuring stuff out, and they figured it out. but I think you're seeing a bunch of examples of this. And whether that's just making it easier on Trevor, because he said something either yesterday or Sunday, Cohen did, is like, hey, we had to figure out what's the best thing for Trevor too. Like, that was part of the figuring out process. And boy, it seems like they figured it out. And some of these designs are really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching a video this morning about a guy who broke it down. Let me see if I can actually find his name real quick. And I'll find it later. But he was kind of talking about how Hainsey at the center spot was getting to the line a lot later than the rest of the offensive line.
I saw that too.
And how that was kind of throwing off the Broncos defense, because that's normally indicative of like a hot snap. Like they're going to hurry the snap and not going to give there's not going to be a whole lot of time for adjustments. And then he would be the last one to line and still make all the adjustments and give the receivers extra time to get set and all this stuff. The one play I think that I wanted to point out was the big play to Brenton Strange on Sunday, and you saw, and I don't know this to be true, and I think that's another thing to point out when you watch film is like, well, you really don't know if that's what was meant to happen or if that's just what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And not that neither of those things are both not valuable, but you just don't know unless you're in the room.
Both sides of the ball are like that. You have no idea what the real thing is, right?
But to me, in real time, it was the big play to Strange, and I was like, okay, so he had double post to the right. So I think it was Jacoby Myers and BTJ both ran posts from the right side, and then Strange ran through the C gap, similar to what Tootin did out of the backfield last week, but it was out of like a split zone look, which we've talked a lot about. Strange and this offense does all the time, where he comes from the left side or whichever side and hits the mess out of the edge, whoever's on the edge or that weak side linebacker. And it looked like that's what was going to happen. He was going to come around and lay somebody out, and he just kept going through the C gap, and he's wide open. Nobody picks him up because I guess they just think he's run blocking.
And a beautiful touch throw, by the way, too, in between.
And it was a great throw.
And Milam, by the way, is like 2 yards outside the line of scrimmage as an extra blocker there.
Yeah.
Which the setup was kind of goofy. And I even saw, I think it was Baldinger or something. He's like, yeah, that's a different kind of look or something like that. I don't know if he was the one that said it or something, but.
So, I mean, just to play like that, and take the Trevor walk-in touchdown. I mean, it's Trevor and BTJ in the backfield.
Yes.
Like, when you're running that kind of stuff, that you feel really confident in everything that's on your call sheet.
Austin, that's one of my things I was going to ask you about. I mean, look at how many people are in the backfield for the Jags in that game. Brian Thomas Jr. is in the backfield. I believe Parker Washington was in the backfield, at least on a play. I think Brenton Strange, multiple plays.
Sure.
Also, obviously, you got ETN and LaQuinn Allen in the backfield. I think they, at one time, outside of the quarterback, had 5 different players out of the however many plays they ran in the backfield at one time.
Yeah, and I think there's two things, right? So the first thing being the Broncos changed up their coverages a lot after the first couple of drives, which made zero sense to me because they had a lot more success when they did that. But I think this was once again Liam Cohen taking what the defense gives you, where it's like, if you want to go with more of that zone coverage, okay, well, let's see how you handle, different guys in the backfield. You're going to put a linebacker on him, you put a safety on him, you put zone coverage on him, like you go man, like, so that makes your job as a linebacker making these calls a lot more difficult. So once again, this is an example of just Liam Cohen taking what the defense gives you. And then as far as that split zone call with Brenton Strange, this has been the MO of Liam Cohen all year. He's taking advantage of a new rule change, because in the past, when you run split zone, you go cut the cutter. You go take the tight end's knees out, and that's it. There's no more split zone because tight ends don't want to get their knees taken out from them. Like that was defensive end 101. That was like one of the first things I learned when I got to the league, where if you got a tight end coming to you, and this is what, the Texans ran a lot with Owen Daniels and company, where if you see Owen Daniels coming towards you in that split zone, just cut him. And they will never run split zone again. Well, they implemented the rule now where you can't cut. So you've made the defensive end or outside linebacker's job so much harder. And that plays an example right there where, oh crap, here comes Brenton Strange. I know it's coming. I can't cut him. I just got to absorb this. Oh, never mind. It's going to be a pass. That's just a classic play design of taking advantage of a new rule and putting your offense in position to win.
That's a good call. And by the way, that's rule. It's not like that changed in the last, handful, 6-7 years since you got out? Or maybe sooner?
So it's weird because I didn't think it was with the new CBA. So it might have been like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
I believe, because I remember like when the CBA came around that you could still do it, and then I forgot who got hurt. It might have been Kittle or somebody got cut, and then that's when they changed it because a high profile player finally got hurt, so then they had to change the rule.
Yeah. That's a good note. And again, that is the thing about Liam, man. He knows defense. He said that. He's like, what I learned when I went to McVay is that I learned the defenses, and that's what to attack, basically, what they were trying to do. And I think you hear a lot of that conversation now with the Jaguars on their defense, learning about the offense a little bit more. And I don't know if that's a thing, Austen. Just a quick note on that. Like when you were playing, I mean, I know you know what the offense can do, but you're really worried about what you do, right? Like what you do well. If you do what you do well, that's where your focus is. It feels like in that building, I either hear about it a little bit more, or maybe there's a little more attention on, hey, the why of what the offense is trying to accomplish this week. And if you understand that, then you can understand the why of what we're doing.
No, I mean, if you look back at the teams that I played, we always had a pretty solid defense, and a lot of that had to do with just that Jaguars offensive line with Maurice Jones-Drew. Now, it wasn't like Maurice Jones-Drew was, practicing hard every single day. Obviously, at the running back, you got to take him up and everything, but going against, that whole scheme of being power run and letting Mo do his thing, that helped us a lot in terms of, getting ready for a lot of run first teams, which, back in 2010, 11, and 12, there were a lot of those teams.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take a break. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Reese actually a comment. I was nervous about Shane Waldron. Waldron gets a lot of heat from football fans in general. I don't think they're criticizing him now. Like when things weren't going well in the passing game, I thought we heard Waldron's name. I can't even count how many times Liam Cohen has mentioned Waldron as being a big part of what's going on here in Jacksonville. And he really gives a lot of credit to the rest of his staff. Another almost veteran move for Liam Cohen to kind of shine some praise on the other folks. It's not just him there in that building getting the job done. And I say it continues to be overlooked. He's put together a hell of a staff. I mean, part of coaching, man, is what you hire too. Gus Bradley, to me, his biggest mistake was hiring Jed Fish. That was his biggest mistake he made, in my opinion, early on. And that doesn't mean Jed's a bad coach. Jed obviously has worked out to be a pretty good coach. But at the time, it wasn't a good fit here in Jacksonville for what they were doing. And it didn't work. Seems like what Liam's doing is really working. When we come back, what about the DK Metcalf punishment? A little bit of college football playoff talk and some other things around the National Football League. We'll have these spreads coming up as well, and some big games around the National Football League all week, as there's a lot of football going on the next handful of days starting on Christmas Day.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jack's Pal.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Sun's out, suits out. That's right, it's summertime in Florida, which means it's time to say goodbye to bulking season and hello to shredding season. But if you're like me, you're having a hard time sculpting and shaping those final pounds. That is until I came and saw my friends over at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Right now, everyone is hopping on the Evolve X train, and the only destination is finding your perfect summer body. The technology uses electrical muscle stimulation and radio frequency energy to cause your muscles to contract, all while heating up those deep layers of your skin and tissue to produce collagen and reduce fat. It's like doing 1,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. No pain, no needles, just results, right? That's right. So leave those winter layers back at the station and come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at JacksonvilleIcemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
There's a look at Daly's Place, and hey, get to the stadium Saturday for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Selling tickets for $25 in the end zone, by the way, right now. So TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. And you got Missouri and Virginia in town for the Christmas holiday. They're going to enjoy a nice week of weather here in Jacksonville. So go support the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl and check it out on Saturday. Looking for something to do Saturday evening with the family, the kids. That could be some fun to go check out Missouri and Virginia. And then next week, of course, the final game. Or do you get another one in the postseason? That's going to be an interesting one because we'll know a little bit more this coming week on Sunday for the Jags. But as we mentioned, next Sunday could be the last, full capacity game at Everbank ever, the way it currently exists. But we also could see a home playoff game in Jacksonville. And heck, the way this damn AFC is set up, you could see a couple anyway because of upsets and everything else. So hard to predict that. But hopefully, man, I'm hoping. I don't know how much that game's going to matter against Tennessee. Could matter a lot to win the division and get another home game. I just hope that feels like a nice way to celebrate this football team one way or another against the Tennessee Titans and hopefully have some good weather in early January. So put it on the calendar now for the Titans game. And the Jags could close out their home schedule and really have a nice record here in Jacksonville this year. I think would win the 7th game, which is really, really good. They've won the most games, I think, on the road this year since 2005, the most games in Jacksonville this year since 2007.
So they have really, really taken care of business, as we all know, and that's why the Jags are in this situation. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane. We didn't see the sports complex, the arena down there, but at the arena on Friday, the Jacksonville Icemen play, and could it be Austen Lane gets the call to play? You might want to check your storage and get the skates sharpened and ready to go. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but the ECHL players are potentially going on strike on Friday.
Really?
And so, Austin, they might need some people to put on some skates. They might need you here, man, to have that game on Friday night at the arena and be an Iceman for a day or maybe even longer.
Yeah, sounds like the replacements, right? Yeah, I mean, hey, if they need me, man, I mean, I'm gonna need some gear, right? I mean, I have my skates, but I'm gonna need some gear. But if you need a couple replacements, man, to come in and just at least, hold down the fort until everybody comes back, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation, and I don't know all the in the weeds stuff. It's obvious the union pushed this out over the last couple of days that they're trying to build some momentum for the players. But my understanding of it is there's some teams that might have to cancel games because of the players going on strike, but there are also other teams like that might not, because there are plenty of players that could cross the picket line. And from my understanding is the Jacksonville players have it really well from an ECHL layout standpoint. And they've done a really nice job here in Jacksonville, ownership of the team and everything, to give this one of the best situations. And Austin, we've had guys on the show in the last couple of years. Remember, they talk about like where they're living in Jacksonville. They say the setup's really good. Obviously, the fan support's really good. But I even think from compensation to some of the other perks that they get, it's actually a very good situation here in Jacksonville. Now, it doesn't mean that game could be still in jeopardy, because I don't know who they're playing. I don't know if it's Atlanta or somebody else, but that other team might not feel the same way. So it's actually kind of a fascinating storyline that we'll see what happens with the ECHL and right here in Jacksonville coming up on Friday and heading into the new year.
Yeah, you might have to call it me and Jason Kelsey, because I think Jason Kelsey was skating around with the beer league guys at the Igloo when he was in town for Monday Night Football. So, yeah, man, call up the replacements. We can help you out for. I mean, hey, I'm good for like maybe 5 minutes a game. But,
I was going to say, how many shifts?
I mean, as long as they're short shifts, that's about all I got for you. Yeah.
One other thing, I guess what the players really are working at here, and I get this one, the schedule is insane. Like the schedule is like they'll play 3 games in 3 days sometimes. Like I think last week or 2 weeks ago, the Icemen played Thursday in like Greensboro, and then came back home and played Friday, Saturday here at home. I mean, the travel, the recovery, all that stuff. Like I could see that in the NHL, they hardly even play back-to-backers, right, Austin?
I mean, you do every once in a while, but they definitely respect the travel schedule, right? Where if you play a back-to-back and it's an away back-to-back, then they give you a couple days off after that. Usually in the NHL, you're looking to play around 2 or 3 games a week. And sometimes it just works out where it's going to be maybe a little more, but those are a rarity.
Would you interrupt training to go play professional hockey for a week or two?
I mean, I would just let, the professional hockey be my training for the week.
Okay. That'd be a cool thing to add to the resume. Like I'm like your resume builder. Like whatever that used to be. Like your resume, you remember that thing you used to fill out? Whatever. I haven't been a resume in a long time, but I don't know if they still have whatever.
LinkedIn?
Now it's LinkedIn. You're right. But before it used to be like whatever Microsoft Word thing was. I just think already you have one of the most unique resumes. So if we can add to it, I'm here for it. I'm in full support.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'd probably put me on defense, but I think you'd want to probably put me at wing a little more, because I don't think my vision's going to be that great playing defense, man. I'll probably give up way too much, and I'll panic trying to, during the breaks and everything, try to start the break. That's not my style. So put me at wing, let me cherry pick a little bit, and then I can get back and play two-way defense if I have to. But yeah, probably put me at wing.
Brent, this guy thought he was gonna be on the team to actually play. Like No, you're on the team as the enforcer,
Yeah, true.
as the sixth man,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
seventh man.
I don't know. They were that wrister was pretty good. Couldn't get it by me, but that wrister was pretty good.
Crazy how Brent had a hood on all of a sudden out of nowhere too.
Don't give away the secrets.
Isn't that like the fashion faux pas when you're on the ice? Like, don't wear a hoodie underneath your hockey sweater.
Freaking cold.
It's all good. It was.
I go with a new style here, man.
I like it.
Hey, easy. I'm not done talking about this, Hamby. Don't try to get me onto your college football crap for a second. Those crap games that we had to watch the other day.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
I got one other thing on this, though, because to me, like, the ECHL players, right, it's just like the third level of hockey. So you got NHL, AHL, ECHL. And to me, you can kind of relate to this in a sense of, like, you're not doing this still. You're doing it for the dream and for the money in the I'm sorry, for the dream and the love of the sport, not for the money in the ECHL. Yeah. Like, I don't know how much exactly they get paid, but it's not, like, making a ton of money. Like, you have put yourself through the ringer of sorts in maybe a good way, but to me, I wouldn't want to sign up for that way. In the last few years of the UFC climb, right? For the dream, the satisfaction, also not for the money. Like, so it's pretty like it's
ain't for the money.
The bus rides, right? The work, I think it's a very relatable thing, actually, what these guys go through every day and kind of what you've been doing. For just like a different kind of satisfaction that a lot of people just wouldn't do because, like, hey, damn it, ain't worth that. You know what I mean?
No, listen, man, I have a lot of respect for hockey players. I have some friends that played juniors for a long time, then, found their way to play for Wisconsin. Another one was at Michigan Tech. Like, I have nothing but respect for it. And I've said this before, like, growing up, hockey was my best sport. And if it, financially, if we're a little better off, if I lived in a different location, I think I would have pursued hockey even over football. Like, football just happened out of necessity because that was really the second option. But, like, hockey was truly my passion. It just didn't work out in the end. But no, I love the sport. I love how, and we talked about this before on the show, Brent, like, you talk about, like, the camaraderie of an NHL locker room. And, like, listen, there's great camaraderies too in an NFL locker room. But I just feel like when you're grinding for that long and you're playing that physical of a sport, like, it's not necessarily all about, like, the flash and what you're pulling up to in the arenas and everything. It's just like, hey, let me make it through another day and not get my jaw or broke or a stick to the face or a puck to the face, So they're definitely some badasses, man. I got nothing but respect for hockey players.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I just always appreciate that about athletes in general. Like, the why is more than the money, right? I mean, the money matters, and some guys' why is just the money, and that's a real thing. But not a lot. I don't think there's a lot. I don't think you'd go through so much, even football players, with the money you're making and the ability to try to be great. I just got this email in, and I just wanted to share a quick thought. FSU breaks the department semester GPA record. Well, that's why they suck at football.
Dang.
They're now too much in the classroom.
Too many geeks.
Nice.
I don't know if you can be, like, great in the classroom and great at football, okay?
Vanderbilt says what's up.
Well, that's a good point. Vanderbilt does. I don't know. What was old Pavia's GPA this semester?
Non-existent. In A.
What's he getting? It's doctorate, by the way,
Sheesh,
by
man.
now. So anyway, good news there for FSU fans if you're big on the GPAs, which you should be, because as we know, college football is about the student athlete. And speaking of college football about the student athlete, what a disaster Killer Tofu says about JMU and Tulane. And here is your bracket. We've got some really good ones coming up next. But I'm a little guy fan. I'm a Cinderella fan. I don't mind the little guy being part of the dance. We kind of knew two of them would be a little much. And it was, right? I mean, they're going to change something again, Austen, I would think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think? You think they're going to change something? Because here comes the Lane Hamby coalition again to say, Why
That's
the
right.
hell was Tulane and why was JMU in there in the first place? Like, hey, Tulane, did you have fun? Did you have a good time? You guys got invited to the dance, right? You thought you were just going to do a little cha-cha slide and dance the pretty girl is going to be all good, but you found out there's a bunch of goons at the dance that are ready to beat your ass, and this is what happens, right? So you maybe got bounced out to the parking lot. Same thing with JMU, and I get like maybe you covered. Congratulations. I don't know if they covered or not, but
They did with that late rally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Congratulations. A late rally out of nowhere when everybody turned the TV off to watch the Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know the game was
Bears.
still on, and then it flashed across,
Yeah.
but it was like 51-34. I was like, holy cow, they're still playing.
Yeah. I don't know how many times we have to have this conversation, Hamby, but let it be known right now. This isn't college basketball. This isn't volleyball. Shout out to Texas A&M for winning their first national championship in volleyball. This isn't anything else, right? Like this is football. And the bigger, stronger, better teams with the better players are more than likely going to win. Maybe JMU pulled out an upset against Oregon, but they weren't going to beat Texas Tech. Maybe Tulane, minus Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss would have beat Ole Miss. They weren't going to beat Georgia. So I hope that the little guys had their fun. It's time to stop with the charade, and let's get the real top 12 teams in there.
So what's going to be the answer, Hamby? What do you see him? Because I got to be honest with you, I haven't read a lot over the last few days since that, and I think we all know now, like, they changed it last year, right? They have the ability. They don't have to have, like, this 5-year waiting period. They changed some things, and I think that we're going to see some more changes because at the end of the day, like, yeah, Notre Dame and Texas being in would have been a lot better. I still think one of those teams being in, I don't really – like last year, who was it last year? Boise?
Yeah.
So Boise, like – with Genty on the stage, and now what we didn't want is Boise into the top 4. That didn't make a lot of sense. But I don't mind the one. I really don't. And I think they should be in. But I don't think we should get to a point where, like, Notre Dame would be a 20-point favorite against both of these teams, and they're not in. Like,
right.
Your quest should still be to find the best team in the country. And, like, I made the case even without JMU and Tulane that I thought Notre Dame had a really good chance at this point to win the whole thing, and they're out. I think Texas, you could make a case, had a chance the way Arch was playing better, that they could win the whole thing, and they're not even in. Like, you want to have those teams in that have a chance, and I think those were the only two. I'm not sitting here and trying to tell you that, like, Tennessee could have won it all.
I still would have rather seen BYU or Vandy.
Or BYU, by the way. You're right. BYU and a Vandy, too, can be in this mix. So what's the answer? What are they going to do?
Well, I think they can at least, they can pretty much guarantee that only one group of 5 team makes it. So at least you would only have one and not 2. They could also scrap this whole thing to be, like, unless they're a top 12 team in the poll.
Yeah.
Then obviously, if they are, then they are. Then they're good and they go. But if they're not, then we're not gonna just jump them up. I don't know, 15 spots, which is what they probably. I mean, Tulane was the 23rd ranked team.
Yeah,
you're not gonna jump 15 spots or 12 spots just because you won your conference title. So, I mean, obviously they're gonna stick at 12 for next year. They have to, but there's a decent chance that, again, Notre Dame probably is going to solve this whole thing by themselves next year because of that whole memorandum of understanding, where they're going to be that representative. And if they're the 9, 10, or 11 seed or 12, they're going to be in. And could that knock out a team like, again, hypothetically this year, that would have knocked out a team like JMU. So that's at least their immediate answer, other than, hey, let's just scrap group of 5 unless they're a top 12 team.
Yeah. I think they'll figure it out. It takes them a little bit long to figure it out. I also don't mind the protection of the little guy a little bit here because the Good Old Boy Network doesn't like the little guy at all. So that's where I kind of am a little wishy-washy about it. And if you just say, hey, take the top 12, they just won't rank. Even like a Boise last year, I think they could have easily left out in that situation if they weren't going to know, they were going to get in. But the automatic qualifier to me might be silly anyway, Austin. Like, with the college, with the SEC championship, ACC championships not even really meaning as much anymore. Maybe this automatic qualifier thing shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. And like, listen, if you're a little guy and you want to get the respect, then have a harder non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
Right. Like with JMU, Like, okay, what was your litmus test? You played the Wisconsin Badgers and you covered the point spread. Oh, cool. Welcome to the college football playoff. The Wisconsin Badgers, who had a punter in a game, have more passing yards than their quarterback in the dairy rate, right? Like, that's what we're talking about here. So I think, like, if you want to get your respect and you want to feel like you've earned your right to be in the playoff, then focus on who you're playing in non-conference. And then if it's a competitive game, or if you win, like if JMU beat Wisconsin, even though Wisconsin, guess what? Then yeah, JMU. Okay, I get it. Like your schedule's obviously a lot easier than a lot of teams in the bracket here, but at least you've earned your stripes. I feel like a little bit. Covering the spread against Wisconsin doesn't earn your stripes.
No, it doesn't. Real quick thought on, because we hadn't talked about these other games. I thought the committee almost looked really bad. Alabama looked like crap for the first 25 minutes of that game.
Both those freaking games were so stupid. And
I'm
not just saying that just because of my spread.
Yeah, well, I was
mean,
mad because of that spread. By the way, too, Oklahoma, the dude catches the football. That game is over. They are getting boat raced. And then he doesn't catch the football at the 20.
Or we just don't drop a freaking punt.
Yeah, but the whole thing happened because of that sequence. And then, by the way, Miami acquits themselves nicely on the road.
Right.
But at the same time, like that easily could have been a 3-point outing with like Texas A&M winning 13-3. So the committee really saved face here in a way. Alabama and Miami, to me, really helped them out, or it could have been a lot worse. This whole thing, on top of the JMU Tulane thing, if Alabama got boat raced out of Oklahoma, the way they had been playing looked like, well, the way they played in the first 25 minutes. And then Miami, we already knew should they be in or not. And, well, they got it done. So that was a great win by Miami.
And, like, I guarantee you, like, Notre Dame's Twitter fingers were going so crazy getting ready to tweet out something.
Yeah.
Like, just let Alabama or Miami get beat and then watch us go to work. But you have nothing to say, right? So, no, it was I was able to watch these games a little bit on the plane coming over here to Colorado and everything. And, yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised with the lack of points from Texas A&M and Miami, especially playing in A&M, but credit to Miami, like, and this is kind of the drama, and this is the entertainment part. A&M might have been running their mouths a little bit in terms of that Hurricane defensive line, and that Hurricane defensive line showed up in a big way.
$30 million roster, and we still can't get a freaking kicker.
Yeah, that too.
Neither of those schools.
I don't understand. I was thinking of the kicker stuff. I was like, what? Is it because they still don't, like, are they that dumb that they don't emphasize that position with this? Or are there really just not that many kickers? Because at the end of the day, there are 100 and something schools, right? And if you just even look at the Power 4 schools, you're talking about, 60-plus schools. So there might not be that many good kickers, like good enough. I know people can kick the ball. I'm talking about like high-level kickers. It feels in Jacksonville like we have produced a decent amount of kickers just out of this area. So I would think with all the soccer players, with everything else, like you should be able to be a recruiter or school or whatever and find yourself a pretty damn good kicker. But it doesn't seem like, heck, Pat McAfee's trying to help you. And it just doesn't seem like people still can find it, Austen. So I don't know if it's laziness or mismanagement or just lack of kickers.
I can speak to Georgia. They've always prioritized it, and they've literally never had a kicker problem in my lifetime.
Alabama had kicker problems for a while, but they have now recently addressed it in like the last, I think, 5 or 10 years, and they get them now.
So listen, this is more of a Scobie question, I feel like, than a me question, because I don't know the intricacies of kickers and everything, or like what's enticing to go to a university and kick. But I gotta feel like it's not like a quarterback or wide receiver where it's like, hey, we have this team here, come over here, because this is like, I don't think kickers are necessarily do kickers care about national championships? I'm sure they want to win, right? But like, if that was the case, then like every kicker in the country would want to go to like, a Georgia or an Ohio State or something like that. I don't think that's really the need. I think kickers are different, where it's like, hey, what kind of academic programs do you have? And then, yeah, I'll come kick for you as well.
That's fair.
I think
that's fair.
I think there's a lot more that goes into the recruiting, because, some of the best kickers don't always go to the best schools. In terms of football, like some of the best kickers don't go to the most powerhouse schools.
Yeah, that's actually a really pretty good point. Like, I don't know how many kickers actually like leave high school, even if you're a good kicker, and like, I'm going to the league to kick. I don't know
I'm
if
going
that's
to kicking you.
You know,
we're just kicking you.
And maybe I would assume that's changed a bit, but I think you're right. I don't know how many, but I also do think that might be the delineation between, hey, there are like legs like Cam Little's, and there are guys that can kick like that, and then there are just like the rest of them. You know, and especially now you're getting weeded out even more because now it's like a golfer. If you can't drive it 320 yards, you can't play on tour. Well, now it's like, hey, dude, if you can't kick it 60 yards, like we really don't want you in the league. You know, I mean, and what did they try? Pinheiro, like he's just hanging on. They tried a 64-yarder.
Yeah,
like we're getting to the point where if you can't make that, because he looked like he crushed that kick, and if you can't make that kick, it's like, hey, I'm trying to go find somebody that can deliver from 64 yards because we don't have an edge in that department. And by the way, speaking of Pro Bowls, a lot of people are mad because Cam Little isn't making a Pro Bowl. He has made 44 consecutive kicks if you count extra points and field goals. He's also got the record holder at number 68. So some people are a little upset about that. Let's take a break. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. Well, before we do that, just real quick, guys, I guess we got next week to discuss these games. Do you like the matchups? I mean, they're not until I think New Year's Eve is the first game being played, and then New Year's Day. So, I mean, I feel like we've got some pretty damn good matchups here in round 2.
Yeah, it's almost as if we would have just had an 8-team playoff. That would have been awesome.
Well, you would have had to pick these 8 teams, you know, and that complicates things too now. I mean, don't make that just look easy.
My bad.
No, like, listen, I think they're great matchups. The only one I would rather see was I wish Miami would be playing Georgia and Ole Miss playing Ohio State, just because we've already seen the Georgia-Ole Miss matchup, right? So
yeah,
we've seen that. But I mean, yeah, great matchups nonetheless. But that's the only one I would change.
Yeah, and I can't sit here and tell you that I'd rather see Oklahoma play Indiana. Like Alabama-Indiana should be a good game, and I do feel like maybe I'd rather. I mean, I kind of like Miami playing Ohio State. I think Texas A&M's kind of boring to watch. They're almost just too good on defense.
Really? I thought they were a lot more explosive to me than Miami is on offense.
Yeah, they might be. But, I mean, you got Tony, and I feel like Beck, I have more faith that he can deliver a big game. I mean, listen, both of them were pretty damn boring the other day to watch.
Well, that's true.
So I get it. But Texas A&M is more built on their defense, in my opinion. What they've been able to do. So anyway, should be a good round 2, and we'll see. Gosh, I'm kind of rooting for Indiana to be able to hang on, although I feel like there's a lot on them in this spot to be able to deliver, and I hope I'm kind of wrong about that. We will see. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. Back to a little football. What do you make of the DK Metcalf stuff? And a little bit more on Indianapolis, too, in this football game as we head into Christmas Eve tomorrow. No show. Tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday. Hamby wants me to add the show back on Friday, but probably won't unless we've got some breaking news or things happening. We do have stuff going on with the Action Sports Jacks team, and that includes tonight with Jags All Access on a special Tuesday because of the holiday, and also for a one-time deal, moving it from Springfield to Jax Beach tonight. Parker Washington will be our guest. He's an alternate for the Pro Bowl. And obviously coming off a huge game. So we'll see you tonight at Strings in Jax Beach.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month. Or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month. Or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day, just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL.
I always say I want to play in the NFL.
Cuts it back to her left side, takes a shot,
Oh,
and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
Say he doesn't make a tackle, you still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjacks.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $100 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval! ETN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47. CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colts Hilly, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports 24/7 network.
Brent and Austen Show, do not call this man by his first name. DeKalen. 2-game suspension looks like it's going to get upheld by the NFL. And here is the thing that we learned this morning. The suspension, if it is upheld, gives the Steelers a potential out. Not necessarily that they'd want to use it, but it gives them an out they wouldn't have otherwise had to avoid $45 million in his contract over the next 2 seasons.
That is crazy.
Insane. Just because
so will they do it?
So real quick, just because I'm going from the vantage. I mean, okay, so there's obviously 2 sides to every story. DK says the guy was calling him racial slurs. I think the quote DK said the name that no black man should ever be called. We understand. And what was interesting though is that the fan, I don't know if he's white, black, I have no idea. But he came up front to security and then went to a local newspaper or TV station media outlet and said, no, I did not say that. I called him by his first name. And I think the videos are more so indicating that. We don't know. We can't hear everything that was said. But at least that's what it looks like, is that he didn't say those things. But again, who knows, two sides. Nonetheless, DK, rabbit ears a little bit. Like, just talk to your teammate and stay on the sideline a little bit. But yeah, it could cost him a lot of money. Just the 2 games alone are going to cost him millions.
Yeah, Austin. What's crazy about this is is this a frustrated player? I don't watch the Steelers much. I mean, how's DK doing? Is it frustrated? It's not a frustrated team. They're playing pretty good football right now. So I was just a little. Usually, you might get that with frustration kind of seeping in to a team that's like, okay, almost done with the season, or a guy who's been just not performing well. I don't feel like there's been a lot of drama with DK Metcalf involved in any of that, has there?
No, they're getting him the ball a lot more recently, but they're not treating him like a $35 million wide receiver. I'll say that much. And that's Arthur Smith way. That's the Arthur Smith offense, right? So there was definitely some frustration earlier on in the season because he wasn't getting the ball like he should. Like, dude, if you're making $35 million, you're a wide receiver, you're gonna need at least 10 targets a game. Like, you're getting the Justin Jefferson, like, love. And he wasn't. So I think there was some frustration built in, but then they kind of found different ways to get him the ball out of the backfield. He was in for a bit and everything. But I just think that this is just, I mean, we see this all the time. I mean, fans want to chirp and everything. And maybe we may never know what was actually said, right? It's he said, she said right now. So who knows? But the NFL puts a precedent, man. Like, if you're a player, you cannot go into the stands. You cannot put your hands on fans.
Yeah. It's a tricky spot. I don't know how. Again, I don't know if they've had any internal problems. We never know this. I don't know if the Steelers will take advantage of that potential void. I doubt it. It doesn't feel like a situation where they would. But who knows? And listen, I'll tell you this, man. I go way back on the DK Metcalf stuff. I understand he's a good player. To me, him being paid in the realm of some of these guys is absolutely bananas and just terrible that you would make that move. Like, he's a good player. He's absolutely a good player. There are a lot of good players, especially at that position. He's not, to me, Justin Jefferson. He's not, to me, Jamar Chase. He's just not those guys. And I don't think he ever will be those guys. So I understand the contract says, Austin, you throw it to him 10 times a game. I just don't know I don't feel like his game says that. Like, I don't, and this is a little bit of roster construction too, where you have to be a little bit careful, because if you feel like you've got to get it to one player because the contract says that, does that make you a good football team? Is that the best way to operate you as a football team? I think that's where you've got to be a little bit careful, especially at positions that don't always have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what was it? Way too much money to pay him? Absolutely. But I also make the argument of he went to maybe one of the worst possible destinations in an offense that doesn't know who they are. I mean, look, they paid Jaylen Warren, they re-signed him, and he wasn't even the go-to guy the past couple weeks. It's been Kenneth Gainwell. Now, Jaylen Warren had a breakout game against the Lions, but like, even Jaylen Warren isn't getting used like he's getting paid. So that's just how the Steelers are operating on offense right now. And yeah, it is way too much money for DK. But I think in retrospect, he's looking back now saying, man, I should have took maybe even a couple million less and went someplace else to get more of a feature, because he hasn't really been featured like I think he wants to be.
One more thought on this, because I do want to take you around the NFL. I've got some questions for y'all. But just the irony that they let Pickens go because he was an off-the-field issue.
Is ironic.
And now, they're thinking DK, who's never really had off the field, not that I know of. And now they get it off the field, and he's actually has a longer suspension than Pickens ever had.
But okay, and that's a great point, Ham, because they're maybe having a little bit of a seller's remorse now. But at the same time, do you think Dallas is going to re-sign George Pickens? Because it's not like George Pickens has been in the great light in Dallas either. Like, they're I think fed up with his antics a little bit as well.
I think I just saw that actually. Somebody said, is it a franchise tag of $28 million? Would you do that if you're Dallas? Because I remember we asked this question around Thanksgiving time or maybe a little bit after, and we were like, damn, you got to sign him. That looks like a great move. It's funny how these goalposts move, right, in the course of a year. But I think we had the conversation a few weeks back, and I might have brought it up, like, damn, this looks like a really good move for the Dallas Cowboys. They're on a roll right now. The offense obviously has been good all year. He's performing very well. And then it kind of like, I think the week after that, it was him running routes at like 40%, Yeah. And ever since then, it's felt out of whack. I don't know the answer, man. It kind of brings me to like a bigger picture thing as you look at the way the Jags are built. And they're not the only example. I think maybe the Patriots are built this way. Maybe the Bills are even built this way. Are you really careful about, like, I know you want the alpha, and I know you want the really good football players, these blue chippers. Let's just say blue chippers. But do you really want your blue chippers to almost be, obviously, your quarterback, but also, like, maybe in the trenches, like those kind of guys, more than your blue chippers costing you gazillion dollars on the outside at wide receiver, even cornerback in those positions that sometimes have personalities that can be very difficult to manage over time. Might feel good for 4 or 6 weeks or even a season, but over time, and there's a lot of evidence to this over the history of the game, that those guys are tough to manage over long term, even the great ones.
No, I hear you. I think there's arguments for both. I mean, we can go back in time with like the whole, what was it, Dexter Lawrence, Yannick Ngakoue, and then who was the other guy that got paid during that year? Jan didn't get paid, but the two other guys did. It was Lawrence, and it was Randy Gregory, I believe.
Oh,
and
wow.
then it was Jan. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So those two guys who got top dollar that year, I mean, I don't think they earned their paychecks, and it was kind of like a dependable position. They were great pass rushers. They didn't do their thing. And I get it. Like with wide receivers, it's such a prima donna position where if you're not getting the rock, you're not getting the targets, you're probably going to act up a little bit. So I think that there's pros and cons to both sides, Brent. But like a lot of money is a lot of money, right? Like would I spend a lot of money on Puka Nacua? Probably, right? Because I think he's earned that. But at the same time, like would I spend a lot of money on an edge guy that maybe had one great year? I don't know. I mean, it's working out well with Josh Hines-Allen, but he's had multiple great years. I think it's kind of give and take. But to bring it back around to the Jaguars a little bit with Jacoby Myers, I mean, that goes to show you. Like, I was hesitant to bringing Jacoby Myers here because of what you heard in Las Vegas. Like, he wasn't happy. Well, was that going to translate? Was that going to correlate then to the Jacksonville locker room? Absolutely not. Like, Jacoby Myers must have been in the right. Like, he wasn't being used properly. He was frustrated. And now we can see that. It's just you have to know the type of player that you're getting. And I think James Gladstone Company, they knew who Jacoby Myers was. They knew he was a great, professional, so they brought him in. With George Pickens, we can sit here and say, okay, well, maybe that's just a Pittsburgh thing, right? Like sometimes Pittsburgh is, they don't gel well. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, all that stuff. Well, I think the George Pickens thing is a little more of that's who he actually is because we've seen him now in Dallas quit on plays and cause some issues.
Yeah, no doubt. Hamby, just maybe to get you going on around the NFL, one thing that you shouldn't pay, especially if you're in San Francisco, is a punter. The dude has not punted in December. That is unbelievable.
How many straight quarters was it? How many straight quarters?
It goes back to November 30th, so I don't know exactly deep into that game, but I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What do you got, Hamby?
Chiefs are moving states. They announced plans to move to Kansas, which I get the headline kind of makes it look worse than it is because it's about 23 miles west. But from what people are saying, it's not a good area at all. And but they're trying to build a new stadium, and this is a political thing, and who's going to give them the money and all that stuff, the city and the state, and the governor's not all that happy about it. But it was pretty much either spend $1 billion to renovate Arrowhead, which is now the third oldest stadium in the NFL.
It's a dump.
Or go to Kansas, which is spending a lot more money right now, and build a $3 billion brand new. They want the indoor domed is the biggest thing here. And so they're kind of playing leverage between the two sides of which one will give it to them, and it looks like Kansas is going to win this battle. This would be in 2031, or at least set to be open in 2031, so still 5 years away now that we're almost in 2026, by the way. One more week left in this year. I don't know if there's necessarily a question tied to this, because, I don't expect you to have a opinion on whatever county this is, Kansas or Missouri, but I can say that the governor of Missouri is pissed, and they're kind of pointing out to the current owner, Hunt, hey, this isn't what your dad would have wanted. It's more or less what they're saying. Arrowhead is the place that your dad and your family has built, and you're trying to throw it all away to get a bigger and better thing when the history and all of this stuff that's tied to this franchise, not to mention the recent Super Bowls, which we will all look back on in 30, 40, 50 years, or perhaps even further into the future when we're all dead. Like, those were all made in Arrowhead.
Golly.
They were all made in Arrowhead, so like you're kind of forfeiting that recent history as well as the history in the past.
Yeah, obviously go ahead, Brent.
No, go. You got it.
I was saying, obviously we talk about history, of being in Missouri. I remember when I first got the call, I was going to play for the Chiefs, and then I got my flight and everything. It was at that moment that I realized that they actually play in Missouri and not Kansas. Like, I had no idea. I didn't. And I played in Kansas City before I played for the team. And when I played in Kansas City for the Jaguars, I didn't even know what state I was in. Right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we landed. We're driving like 30 minutes to the game. Cool, sweet. I don't know where I'm at. Didn't care. I will say this about Arrowhead and like that whole, because I
more people have done that, by the way, and fewer people will admit it. I know. So I appreciate it.
I know. Yeah, no, I know, and I'll be the first to admit it. I always liked the ambiance of way, like how it was set up, because their football stadium, Arrowhead, is right next to their baseball stadium. And it was always, it's a cool thing pulling up and you see like their baseball stadium, you drive like whatever, a half a mile down the road, and not even half a mile, probably like a quarter mile down the road, and boom, then there's Arrowhead. Like, and you talk about a passionate fan base, I feel like, and I get it, like it's, they're more a product of the moment because they've won a lot of Super Bowls, but it is kind of crazy that they might be planning on moving, to Kansas. But at the end of the day, hey, Missouri, step your game up. It's a show me state. If they show you $7 billion, you better show them $8.
Yeah, well, by the way, speaking of that Royal Stadium, they too are, I think, looking. I don't know if they finalized anything, but there's, like, I think they've proposed something. Their deal with Kaufman, I think, expires in 2030, I read. So, like, that whole complex, to the point, like you said, it's a cool complex. It's also like, it's got almost like a college football feel where it is for the Chiefs games. But the stadium is a dump, like underneath. Like the Arrowhead's a cool place to watch a game, but underneath, it is amazing that they still can get away with it in today's day and age. The locker rooms are right next to each other. Like both teams go in the same spot.
And these are JUCO style locker rooms, even for the home team, by the way.
Oh, it's brutal. And like
JUCO style.
The Raiders, think about that. You got the Chiefs and the Raiders. Like, these are real rivalries going into the same little area. And there have been fights down there before. Like, you've heard about them and seen them. It's insane that is still the way when you see so many of these other places. That almost the NFL didn't force Arrowhead to do something about it, even before they were even thinking about another stadium. And then you have a place like Denver. Like, we're in Denver. And I think that's 25 years old now, and they're building another one, which seems insane because if you go to Denver, it looks like a new stadium. Like, it feels new. Underneath, it feels new. Like, we drove the buses. I always say this about stadiums. But one of the big things that people never fully understand, I think, until you see it, is that there's a city underneath these stadiums where they want to be able to pull a Taylor Swift concert, like in all the 18-wheelers and park them underneath and just dump it out right there for setup and everything else, privacy, all this other stuff. But really, it's accessibility, it's logistics. Well, most of the new stadiums have that. Like, they all have that. But Denver Stadium actually has that. Like, it can drive the buses right underneath. It's not as big as, like, say, Lucas Oil, but you have that element. And the locker room, the visiting locker room for the Jags, is massive, like one of the biggest in the league. So they even already have those kind of amenities. I'm almost stunned that they're building a new stadium, man, because that Denver one is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I was really impressed. Like, I even went in, like, and you could tell a lot, like you might by the bathrooms, like like, everything was just. I couldn't believe they're getting ready to talk about building a new one. I'm like, this. I feel like you guys have everything that you need. So I don't get it, but hey, if you got the money, I guess spend it.
Yeah,
Let me give you one more before we get to a break. Shedeur Sanders, we haven't talked about him.
No.
His name hasn't really been brought up in, I think, 3 weeks on this show. And I think that's, I would venture to say that's kind of a theme across the NFL landscape. I get it's probably because the Browns are really bad and they have 3 wins, but it seems like everybody was locked into Shedeur's first 2 starts. Well, he's made a couple. He's made a handful now, and it's just been mediocre. It doesn't seem like he's been much of a story the last 3 weeks. They lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Titans, the Bears really badly, and he wasn't good at all 2 weeks ago in that one. And then they took Buffalo to the brink. But are we seeing Shedeur become a little bit more like everybody else? Which is probably, would he like that? I don't know. But is he just becoming another quarterback in the NFL instead of must-see TV to see how he plays?
Well,
I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way, I don't know if he's it's about the play. It's real. I think he's handled it, Austen. Just my quick take on him is he's handled it pretty well in front of the microphone. I mean, listen, a lot of these guys don't ask for all the attention. Now, sometimes I think Shedeur and the Sanders family, everybody asks for the attention. I'm just saying, I think overall he's handled it pretty well. It was going to be a big deal when he started to play, but I think part of the reason it's kind of blended in now with everything else, well, twofold. One, it's not like he's playing unbelievable. Neither are the Browns, but he also isn't sitting there in front of a microphone saying, look at me the whole time.
No, without a doubt. But also, so Shedeur Sanders is playing maybe like a 6th-round pick? Like, is this what we kind of expected?
Yeah.
Like, it is like, I get, like, the Skip Baylesses of the world and Mel Kipers, this is an atrocity. They're setting him up for failure, all this stuff. It's like, okay, well, he's had a couple of weeks now, and I feel like the Browns are still browning. So, like, if that's the case, then, like, we'll see going forward. But, like, the way that he was touted and the way that he was being disrespected, it almost seemed like he was going to go in and win the Browns football games. Like, that's what, like, the influencers I felt like were trying to convince us of. And it hasn't been the case. And guess what? The offense still looks more of the same. So they just lost Judkins now for an extended period of time. So that's not going to be good either. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think this is kind of what a lot of people expected, set aside from the outcry of where he was drafted.
Who's the Browns quarterback next year? Is it going to be Watson?
I think it could be a competition, but I do think they go with Watson again just to see what he can do.
Gosh, I feel like Colin Kaepernick played more recently than Deshaun Watson.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're paying Deshaun Watson. You're paying him so much money, you might as well get your money's worth and see what he can at least do. What are you going to do, cut him after you paid him this year?
Has played more recently.
Who has?
I think Cam Newton has.
Has he played more recently, Newton?
In New England?
So. It wasn't that long ago.
I mean, Watson played like early last year, didn't he?
He did?
I thought it was maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I was being a little facetious there, but I was just saying, it just doesn't feel like he even plays in the league anymore. And I think he's due like $80 million next year.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure. I think it's like an $80 million hit next year, unless that was this year, but I'm pretty sure it is next year. Hey, one other thought, Austin. I want to get your thoughts on this because do you watch? I don't know if you watch a lot of their games or watch Myles Garrett. I don't know if it was Ty that said this to me or somebody else.
Mason Graham took away one of his sacks.
Yeah, I saw that. That'll fall. That would have been very, seemed appropriate to break the sack record on that, given the whole Favre Strahan thing from years ago. But I don't know, like, it feels, is there a sense that he's just now, like he's in a situation for really the last 4 weeks where he's just going to get sacks? Like, I wonder what his grades are against runs or his grades are compared to what he normally would be because he's in chase mode and he can be given their position. And does that at all, if that is the case, and I don't know if that's the case, I don't watch it every week, but if that is the case, does it soften that record at all when he does get it? I'm assuming he's going to get it.
No, I don't think it softens it at all, man. If you just turn on the tape and watch him play, like he is the best pass rusher in the world. and one of the best of all time. Like you can't deny it. And it's one thing if he's just, he's getting into sacks, whether it's blitzes and he rolls around, the quarterback just takes a knee or whatever, and he touches him. Like, no, like Myles Garrett's getting double teamed, he's getting triple teamed, and he's finding ways to go through those guys. So I think it will be legitimate once he does break the record, and I think it will be well earned. Not like, and who's the Jets guy what was the Jets dude that went to Favre and that? Yeah, it ain't gonna be like a Gastineau situation where Strahan's gonna be like, no, like this is especially on a team that, let's be honest, I'm sure when you're playing the Cleveland Browns, you're probably gonna try to run the football a little more because you're gonna be up by so much anyways. So no, I think Myles Garrett's gonna definitely earn it, and we're not gonna get another Gastineau situation because that ruined that entire documentary for me. Yeah. I literally turned it off. I'm like, I don't even know who Mark Gastineau was. And then I have to sit here through this awkward interaction with him and Brett Favre where he's almost crying in tears because Brett broke his heart. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that was a little awkward. Hey, I just saw this as we head to break. Texans could still miss the playoffs, and the Texans could still be the number 1 seed. That's how crazy this NFL season has been, and still is. Pretty wild. They would lose the tiebreaker to Indy, I've just found out, on strength of victory, if that is the case. But it's highly unlikely to happen. Jags, especially if they take care of business, Houston would be in. Houston can get in on Saturday night. They're going to play on Saturday. So we'll know a lot more as we enter that game against Indianapolis on Sunday at 1 o'clock up there in Indiana. When we come back, we got a little Red Panda sighting. NFL
Made
debut.
Her NFL debut.
How about that? Red Panda. A little NBA, a little weekend spreads.
Do you think that they're going to mix Red Panda with Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl halftime show? That's a collaboration now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just a perfect December halftime, I think, show. I don't really feel like it's a Super Bowl show.
Okay. You guys were hyping her up when I didn't really know who she was. So I'm just trying to return the
I had
favor.
to point her out to Steph again. Yes, I was like, look, it's Red Panda.
Wait, she's pedaling that with, I didn't notice that. She's pedaling that with one leg, huh? That's crazy.
She's pretty good. That's good.
Crazy.
We'll be right back.
Oof. Watch the Achilles.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We showed no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval! ETN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Oh! Wow, look at that. I'm almost in a way rooting for you. I want to see the smoke. We had 2 wins?
Yeah, Jags and Patriots.
Ah, good thing you picked the Patriots.
Yeah, good thing, because it's close for you guys. Thank goodness we did that.
Which game should we have won?
All of them.
I mean,
we should have won.
We should have won Alabama game.
Yeah, we should have.
I mean, 17-0.
Bro, if punter knows how to freaking punt the ball, we're chilling.
So the better team that comes back from down 17-0, you guys are like, should have won that one. Nope, you picked the worst team.
The dude
Next,
dropped the ball like in his hands.
Hey, how
It's
about
over.
John Mateer throwing it to just wide
Better
open
quarterback
Alabama
one.
DBs?
Better quarterback one. That's what we talked about, Casey. The better quarterback one.
John Mateer, not good.
Chicago was the other one.
Which definitely, I went to bed thinking that one was over.
Yeah, what was that? 16-6?
16-6 with 2.5 left. What a freaking joke!
I'm gonna be honest.
So dumb.
The Bears, man. I am flabbergasted. Austin, that was a hell of a pick.
No, it was, hey, thank you, man. But Casey, I'm going to return the favor because the Carolina Panthers, that one was all you, Casey.
Very well should have won that one too.
Nope, not even close.
And we should have definitely won the A&M.
Should the Bucks have won that game?
No, it's all good. Nope, absolutely not. No,
I didn't see the game.
It was ugly most of the time, but I mean, the Bucks were not.
Keep pounding.
The Bucks are not the better team.
Keep pounding.
That's what I'm saying.
Just keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
And Brent, let's make no mistake about this here. When the aliens take over one day, and they will, when they go through all the media, and when they try to get glimpses of who our civilization was, they're going to go through this footage. They're going to go through the Brent and Austen show, and they're going to see the generational run that is Casey Kurtz and Austen Lane picking these picks in the second half of the season because they had never seen anything like it. This country has never seen anything like it. It's generational, man, and it should be celebrated.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to go to my Barry Manilow song too, and jump in on that. But
Did you see what happened to that guy?
I know they canceled the show, right?
Lung
he got
cancer.
lung cancer. Yeah. He's still going to play though in April, apparently.
Yeah,
they moved it to April.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's at 82.
I don't think you recover from lung cancer in 3 months. I don't know. I've never had it, but
keep plowing.
It's kind of like keep pounding. Yeah, it's like the Panthers.
It is a heck of a run. By the way, I think we need to set parameters now. This thing's getting close. Like, is this going through the Super Bowl, or is this going through the end of the regular season?
Casey, it's your idea.
I feel like in the past we've done playoffs.
I think we did too.
I think we've done it until there's no longer 6.
Yeah, but by that time, you still can do the playoffs. There's just fewer games, obviously.
Yeah.
So you better be within striking distance, which it looks like right now you are.
We're not done yet.
Not done yet.
We're not done yet?
You're mathematically...
You're not done yet?
I was done Friday night, all right? Like, I wasn't fully done yet. And then when Oklahoma at home can't hold a 17-0 lead, I was like, okay, this ain't happening.
Here comes the Colts logic. Well, we're still in it. We can still hang the banner someplace.
I do feel like the Colts.
It's done.
I actually do. Other than we weren't ever 7-1, but I do feel like the Colts actually out of it, and maybe mathematically eliminated, even though we don't know yet. Just depends what calculator you want to put on. So here we got.
Bro did 4 college football.
I know it's not even this weekend.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
None of these games are this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I screwed this up.
All right, let me take you through what happened last.
Damn it.
Quickly. Nobody communicates to me, right? I'm not even really on the show at this point. We're just playing out the string, right? To be honest. And Hamby texted me. He's like, "Hey, you're not."
I do pay him for this bit, by the way.
He's like, "Hey, you're not coming into work tomorrow, right?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I'm coming. I planned to come in. Did everybody else say I wasn't coming in?" He's like, "Nah, I'm just assuming." I was like, "All right, that's fair." He's like, "We're going to do spreads and wagers." I was like, "It's Tuesday, so that's foul." But again, nobody told me nothing, so okay. He's like, "I'll send out the spreads. Don't worry. You sound busy." I am busy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Never looked at him at any point in time. Never looked at him until right now. You screwed up.
I did.
Bad.
Hand up.
What do we do now? Put yourself on camera if you're going to put your hand up and say I screwed up.
Good point.
Accountability is absolute. Full accountability.
I don't have that.
Accountability is absolute.
All 4 of us on the screen ready. Hold on.
You can take me off. I don't need to be here.
Take us all off and just put yourself on.
There it is.
I'm an idiot.
All right.
The games aren't this weekend.
All right.
So what do we do now?
Good question.
You're gonna have to you have to take a break and re-up it. I mean, we're not gonna pick these college games. Like, you have to do all NFL this week.
Austin's gonna lay down. He's telling you what to do.
Yeah, we're trying to win.
We can't do that because the sports office hasn't picked. They've already sent in their picks for these 6. Unless you want them on the phone right now.
Let them pick later. Hey, I ain't scared of I'm not worried about the sports office. They can listen to our picks and then pick after. I don't care.
They can. That's true. They could do that. So we got 2 NFL games that we can pick. We'll have to add 4 other ones, which is easy to do. Which games you want to add, Casey?
Well, we're going to add the Jags.
I don't even know. You even have the Jags?
Have the Jags in there?
But the line wasn't available yet because I did it last night. The game wasn't
Tuesday.
over.
Because it's Tuesday. That's right.
I asked you this yesterday. I said, are the lines going to be ready?
All of the lines were other than the Colts because they were playing.
We should communicate with Casey more.
All right, let's go. Let's go to NBA then. Here we go.
Anybody? Casey will write a book on communication, by the way, soon.
I'm a known great communicator.
Yeah. You between you or Hicken, I don't know which one's going to answer a text faster sometimes.
If it doesn't relate to me, I'm not replying.
How about the NBA? What did you bring up today on the show, actually?
Nice.
They're imposing. I mean, I'm not going to ask Camby to put up this stuff right now. I sent him. He's just going through too much, but they're imposing new rules in terms of the draft and the draft lottery that are going to prevent teams from tanking so much.
Nice.
So do you like it? I saw it's like a top 14 and all this other stuff.
Well,
it's like,
but so if a team has a lottery pick, they can't have a lottery pick the following year, I believe. Which then like the Pelicans are just like, hey, what the hell do you want us to do? Because we're not a good franchise. So I mean, I like it because I think it's gonna preach more of like, hey, like you just can't manipulate the system and lose every single year to get all these picks and then try to reload. Like, so I do enjoy it actually. I mean, it hasn't been voted in yet, but they're just proposals right now.
So here are the proposals. Limiting pick protections to either top 4 or 14 and higher. This already is confusing. It's either 4 or 14. I don't know how we got to 4. I'm assuming like half the league or just the 4 of them.
Pick protections are so dumb anyway.
No longer allowing a team to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row. Locking lottery positions after March 1st. So that way, like halfway through the season, your lottery positions are there, and you can't tank the last 2 months of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
So the bottom line here, really, in a bigger picture, idea of the NBA is that they obviously feel, first of all, this isn't great for parity, but they also don't feel like it's great for their product. From load management to tanking, and nobody likes the idea of tanking. Like no sports organizations do anyway. Even Major League Baseball, you hate it, but it's kind of a thing, right? I mean, Houston figured it out. Atlanta figured it out. Other teams figured. I think Chicago, the Cubs figured it out. Like, hey, that made you good, and that was the way to do it. Lose big. Here in Jacksonville, we have even said over years, we're like, hey, if you win 7 or 6 or 5 or games, you'd rather be like 2-14 to go find the top picks. So we kind of know it, but it looks like the NBA is really working on its product overall and knows already with load management and all these other things, they're not creating a very good product night in and night out, Austen, for the consumer.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. And I think this is going to kind of hold teams a little more accountable, right? Because the NBA is going to only be as good as the stars will allow them to be. And if your stars are going to be playing week in and week out, if there's going to be load management or rest, or if they're banged up, then the product suffers. Nobody really cared about the NBA Cup. I already forgot who won it. I think it might have been the Spurs. I don't know. Was it the Spurs?
So. I believe
okay,
so.
Cool. Yeah, and now they're in rarefied air with other teams like, I don't know. I think maybe the Lakers won one year.
Yep, they got one.
And did the Bucks win one? I don't know. Once again, I think the Bucks might have won one, and that's my team, right? So nobody really cares. That's the thesis of this statement here. But and listen, they're always going to have stars and everything, right? But I think now holding teams accountable is only going to help that product even more.
The thing that's foul about it, low key, is like if you're New Orleans and really any team that sucks, and like this is where it does get unfair. Like you got to try to win. But who on earth as a free agent is like, you know where I'm going? New Orleans, who hasn't won ever. And like, you know what I mean? So like some teams.
Small market.
What are you going to do? Like what is New Orleans going to do to get good if they're going to take their lottery picks, if they have won back-to-back years?
Yeah.
Giannis is going to be like, I've decided I want to go to New Orleans. No.
Well, yeah, or you got to overpay because they will for the money. I mean, you got to overpay. Like people thought you had to overpay in Jacksonville and places like Jacksonville in the past in free agency. So do you? But I guess with max deals, can you even overpay?
No, I mean, there's going to be a ceiling of what you can pay. So, like, do you want to take a max deal in New Orleans? Or you want to take a max deal, on a championship contender, basically, I think that kind of hurts too a little bit because like New Orleans is never going to be in relevancy unless like they draft these studs, and they try to draft Zion and he hasn't worked out. So like they're kind of in purgatory right now.
Because at least in baseball, right? Like if you're the White Sox, you can pay the guy that they just paid that's coming over from Japan.
Yeah.
He either hasn't heard of the White Sox and doesn't know the gimmick, or was just
thought it was the Cubs.
He thought it was the Cubs trying to get paid. But like it can happen in baseball. If you wanted to, you could pay so and so free agent $700 million if like the White Sox wanted to, and the guy would be like, "Yeah, I'm going there." But basketball, you can't do that. And then I think baseball has actually figured out the draft thing too. They did something similar to this, where it's like the lottery and they don't take your back-to-back like first picks if you have them. But like I don't know if you saw it this year, the White Sox ended up with like the pick, and they were pulling the Rays pick just because it works. So I feel like baseball's done a better job of it. But like I don't know if this will go through because if you're an NBA owner, if I own the teams that are terrible that no one's coming to, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna get players in the New Jersey Nets. You know what I mean?
Nets, well, it's fair. It's good. That's a fair argument. I would just also suggest that if you have back-to-back lottery picks, you're probably screwing them up anyway because you're just a poorly run organization. I think that's what other people could say. Like, hey, even if you have the picks, it doesn't freaking matter. Right? And there's long been this thing, and there are some people who believe it. I don't really believe it. I rather believe in the parity. Like we're getting in the NFL like this year is unbelievable. I think it's great for the league. Some people like dynastic teams and other things, but a lot of folks have said, hey, you should be rewarded with better picks if you're good. Like, why are we rewarding people who are bad with the best picks? But that's a whole parity thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely I like that. I do think you should be able to try to close the gap between the good teams. And heck, right now, and Austin's brought it up a bunch, right now the Oklahoma City Thunder might be on the verge of like creating a gap that's unbelievable if they pick right, and they seem to make all the right moves, and they might have another opportunity to make another big move.
Yeah, they have a pretty solid front office, man. I mean, obviously the best team in basketball right now, and looking forward, because like they're all pretty young, they might be the best the team in basketball for a long time, because unless catastrophic injuries happen, there's no way that they're not going to be good for years to come.
I ask you this once in a while about the NBA. I feel like they're not getting the casual person right now. And I don't know if that's just because we're so knee-deep into the NFL and things here in Jacksonville, and so I'm like one-track mind at this stage. Or it's just football versus basketball versus baseball versus other sports. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like – and the other thing that's interesting about the NBA, I know a lot of the stars are out or have been hurt, but you do have the story of like the Thunder or whatever else. Maybe that's because it's not the Knicks or a bigger market team. The fascinating thing that I thought might derail the NBA earlier this year was the whole betting thing. You haven't heard a peep about it.
Oh, what happened? Oh, that happened, right? Chauncey. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
They got him.
I haven't heard a damn thing.
That's true.
Like, has that just been out of the cycle since it happened? Or is there just nothing new on it? What happened to that? Who pushed that under the rug?
I think they're just waiting for whatever trial or whatever it is.
Is that the thing? Is just nothing in the interim, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's from what I understand.
I thought that was about to derail the whole league.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Cash Patel interviews, tell all about the NBA and everything. Like, what happened to that dude? He was Snoop Dogg for a couple months, and you see him everywhere talking about everything, and now he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? How that's.
I mean,
I guess you can put 2 and 2 together.
I wasn't going to go down that road, but yeah, I tried to, I get we hooping.
Just move. We hooping.
We move.
Hey, I do have one NBA for you though. Why is Cleveland not as good as they were last year?
They've had guys come in and out. Garland's been out and in a little bit. They're trying to maneuver their roster a little bit and try to find that starting lineup right now.
You could have gone to the Nuggets game on Saturday, right?
I could have gone to the Nuggets game last night too.
Oh, were they here?
They're home last night too against the Jazz.
They didn't have any interest, huh?
Hey.
Bro, have you seen the Jazz?
With the Utah Jazz? I'm all set.
About seeing the Joker, man. In person.
I went to go see hey, you know what, Brent? You know what I did last night? I saw a giant, cool Christmas tree that played music, and I went to a polka band. Way better than watching the Utah.
No, sir.
Oh no, it was my choice. It was co-choices, but it was awesome.
Okay.
Lot better than going to watch the Utah Jazz.
Hey, okay. Here's the thing: the Jazz are terrible. I'll give you that. And it's hard to spend your hard-earned money to see the Joker come out at halftime and not go back in because it's 116-4.
Sure.
So I get that. But also, I'm not fully buying that it was a code decision. Listen, I get you say what you got to say right now. I get it. We won't ask no more questions, but
good. Well, here's how I was looking at it. Well, the Avalanche weren't playing. Avalanche weren't playing, and with all due respect to one of the best players in the NBA, is he the most exciting player to watch in the NBA? Like, do I need to watch Joker waddle down the court and not play defense, and then look like a guy who's playing at the YMCA with all these crazy passes and everything, get a triple-double? Like, I'm all good. I'll watch the highlights.
Waddle is crazy, down.
I mean, Casey, you've watched him. You know,
he's not running.
About.
I'm not arguing.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Waddles.
Okay. He's in pain when he's running. I'm sorry.
You look like that.
I actually thought about it, though, like, because we were in Denver, obviously, Saturday night, and I started looking around, like, at hockey had played, I think, on Friday, and then they were on the road, and then the Nuggets. But it says a lot. Like, I don't know if it says a lot about everybody, or you or me or whatever, but he's one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go see one of the greats, like does that get you, do you want to go see one of the greats? We've asked this before. I remember a couple of years back, the Jags were bad, right? But the Patriots coming to town, it's a last chance to see Brady play, maybe, right? You just don't know. You didn't know he was going to play for Tampa and all that stuff. But like, do you go say, hey, I saw one of the greats play live? We did that with, like, I'm not an NBA guy, but I remember taking Ty down to the Magic for LeBron when he was with the Cavs, that was. And so you say, hey, I watched LeBron play. Are we not as enamored with that in general anymore, or is Joker just not maybe even on that level? Because I honestly thought about you. I was like, oh, he might try to go to this game with Ronan and see it.
No, didn't even cross my mind. No, it's weird because he is probably the best basketball player right now in the NBA. But I just think and you can't take away the guy averages like a triple double, so he's legit. It's just aesthetically, it's not the dunks, it's not like the crazy drives or anything. It's just it's very fundamental and it gets the job done. It's almost like back in the day with the Spurs. Like I remember being a kid and the Spurs were the team, but I wasn't watching them. Like I wasn't respecting David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili flopping all over the place just because I had MJ. I had other guys that like put on like the highlights. So I still think the NBA is definitely a highlight-driven league. But if you're asking me, like, is he must-see, like, courtside Joker? I mean, for some people, maybe. But, like, I would almost err on the side of wanting to see Wembanyama more than Joker, even though Joker's far better right now in his career.
I get it.
But, like, I want to see Wemby because I want to see a guy that's, like, 7'3" or 7'4", run the point, shoot three-pointers, cross people over, and break ankles.
So that's my point. Like, I get that. Would there have been somebody that you would have watched? Well, like, if Wembanyama had played against Denver, would you have maybe gone? Or
I was going to say, if they played the Thunder, would you guys have tried to go? That's the MVP against the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a little more enticing for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie, the Jazz
Christmas
did nothing
though,
for me.
You know what I mean?
No, here's the cool part. It was right next to the arena, so like, we were right down there. So like it was right next to the arena where we were.
Definitely thought they were going to the game. There's no doubt in my mind. When they got in the car, they were like, "We're going to see Joker." He's like, "Cool, everything's good." What the hell are we doing at the tree? The arena's over there.
The tree sings.
No, dude, it's cool, man. You guys are hating on it. It was a cool experience.
Was that down at like the McGregor Square part of Denver? Or is that what that is?
Why are we talking about Denver like we know it now?
Oh, because I was
So what?
Yeah, I have no idea what it's called, man. I have no idea.
Anybody you go watch right now to see, seriously, any sport? I mean, would you pay to see Ohtani and be like making a point to go watch him play right now?
It would upset me, but yeah, I'd go see Ohtani after what he did to Milwaukee Brewers. But sure, absolutely.
Definitely. If he's pitching,
because that's one you but like that's a unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's cool, like to be able to say whether it's your grandkids someday or whoever else, be like, yeah, man, I got to see him play. That's pretty neat.
I mean, this is. Go ahead, Casey.
I think there's so many like you're gonna like. I think there are so many people that are qualified as girls right now.
No, I get it.
That like it's somewhat of a hard like conversation.
Watered down a little bit.
Yeah. So, but like I think Ohtani's definitely in the like you should go if you can go category. I'm not sure how many NBA guys are actually in that category. Like SGA is great right now. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if he's going to end up being.
Well, if you've never seen LeBron and you got a chance to go to Orlando to see LeBron, I would do it, right? Yeah. Because it's winding down.
Literally the only thing on my radar that I would want to go see in terms of players playing, and I guess this would be next year, is France versus Norway with Mbappe and Holland. Yeah, like that's actually once again cool. this is soccer, Brent. So I get it, but like that's like must okay, yeah. But that's like to me like if you could go to anything like that's what it is because it's France who is one of the favorites who has arguably the best player in the world in Mbappe, and then it's like the up and coming Norway team who once again maybe has arguably the best goal scorer in all of soccer in Erling Haaland. Like that's the one you want to see.
Yeah, I mean people go to Miami games just.
Absolutely. Well, I get that.
So,
like, I think I would. Like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would if I was down there and you told me that they were playing, you could get tickets. and I could say, hey, I saw Messi play, I think I would do that, and I could give a damn about soccer.
Yeah.
Watching a soccer game. But
I'm going to have to sell one of my kidneys to go to that game, which I probably not going to. I'm pretty fond of them, but like that's what it's going to cost to go to that game.
But it would have been cool if like the Avalanche were playing Ovechkin this weekend. It would have been a cool one to go to, right? Like same kind of thought process.
It would have been a cool one, but much like when I was with the Bears when they asked me if I want to go to the Stanley Cup playoffs and sit like in the front section and bang on the glass, I said no because it's the Blackhawks. I'm not going to watch the Colorado Avalanche either because I'm a Wings fan. Like that'd be like in Jacksonville. Hey, you want to go to a Titans? I don't know, Texans playoff matchup? Like no, we're all set.
I understand that.
We're all good.
I did land on this too. Your Detroit Red Wings are in first place.
Yeah, Brent.
Not sure how that happened. Yeah, good time. Like the old days.
Well, it's like the old days a little bit. Bruins are kind of doing their thing. Casey, how are the Lightning doing? We all right? How are we doing
Second
over there?
Second place, right?
They're fine.
They were doing, yep.
They're not.
They're okay.
I'm literally looking at it. That's why I knew.
They're a first-round exit team for sure.
It's funny because with the Wings, like they're first in their division, but I don't think they're the first right now in the East or whatever. Yeah. They're I'll say this much. They're okay. Like I'm not getting cocky yet because they've shown some holes as well. So I'm a little worried about it. And it might be blind faith right now saying they're going to go to the playoff this year for the first time in whatever, 11, 12 years. But so far, so good. We'll see though.
I mean, they don't lift the cup anymore until like August 11th. So we got a long way to go here.
It's a great point. Yeah. that could be some of our bets. Some of the pick against the spreads.
Yeah.
All right, we got these. We got to get to before we got it laying down.
No, we're going to the break, and then we'll come back and do these. But I appreciate that we gave you enough work. I appreciate you gave you put an effort in here while we were talking about everything.
Well, the judge is going to have to make an entrance.
You got to change the Panthers. No pushes. It's either 6.5 or 7.5. We're not pushing.
And plus change the Bears and the 49ers as well.
All right, we'll give you a little time for that. We got some time. We're gonna go. We come back. We go laying down the law, and we'll still get these in, no problem. So we got plenty of time. But I like it, Hamby. Nice
Hamby's
work
in a
on
blender,
that.
bro.
He's fine. He's fine.
We can pick the college games for next week. We'll pick them again. See what happens. Let's pick them twice.
We already got people's picks. If you want a little heads up,
let me get Georgia again.
We will be taking Georgia. I got a feeling. I think I got that one nailed down.
Toss the break. Let's go.
We'll be, back in a moment. And, hey, before I do go to break, let me tell you a little bit. You get the best deals of the year between Christmas and New Year's right now at Nimnick Buick GMC, right off Phillips Highway, or NimnickBuickGMC.com. And small business owners, take advantage of the year-end small business tax credits on the purchase of a vehicle for your business. Nimnick Buick GMC has a surplus of inventory that qualifies. So check it out, NimnickBuickGMC.com, or go visit right off Phillips Highway.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep,
Not
can't
eating.
eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at jacksonvilleicemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
All rise.
There's nobody here, bro.
I know, but you still got to say court is in session so that way you know if he's late.
Yeah, where is bro?
He's getting a cup of coffee.
This is court. How you just show up when you want? Bro's gonna lose. Austen, you're here, right?
I'm here, man. Casey, have you always rocked a beard like that?
Hair, dog.
Oh, my bad. Okay, see, you gotta understand, like the way I'm seeing it in the screen, it looks like you got it's like Santa Claus. Yeah, it's very Santa Claus-esque right now.
I like that.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Hey, bro, you late for court, G? It's over for you.
All rise.
Man.
I'm already standing.
Dang, we did that already, dog. You missed it. But I appreciate you being up. So it was almost a debacle for you. Missing court. We will have to take that into consideration.
I thought we were zooming still for court.
You weren't on Zoom either, bro. We checked. You weren't there. We just saw Austen. He rose and everything.
I'm zooming.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's been a lot more convenient to get more people in and out.
Tyrone Moore got zoomed in.
Oh boy. By the way, I'm digging your background. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, is that just a window behind you? You're over your right shoulder.
Looks like a chalkboard.
No, the right shoulder.
Other side, fellas.
Well, dude, it's like mirrored. Yeah, so that's a window. Yeah, yeah.
That's a window.
And then that's a chalkboard. Yes.
To tell you what, that shot looks pretty good for a window. Shining in
Oh, I
some
mean,
daylight behind you.
do you want me to take you outside real quick or not? Or should we get to this?
No, let's do it. Give us
All
a
right,
little tour.
all right, let's take you outside real quick. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds up. Let me change the camera thing. This is asking a lot of me now. There we go. All right.
There we go.
Wow.
Fantastic.
There we go.
I should have stayed.
There's I know, right? No, you should have came over. We could have a little bit of a party. Yeah, so there we go. That's what we're dealing with today. There's a bunch of deer out here this morning by the sandbox over there, but
you thought Brent was going to go to that polka party?
No elk.
Yeah, maybe, man. And then Roan's in the backyard throwing knives and axes right now too. So hopefully he hasn't chopped off his hand, but he is being supervised.
He is being supervised. Good. That's good.
Yeah.
You might want to
What's up?
propose, bro. That's a nice house.
That's a
I
cool
mean-
place. Good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Dang, man, that's more plants than my wife's got.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
dude.
goodness.
You want to see all the
those
plants? Oh, don't worry, Brent. You can't smoke any of them. It's fine. Relax, everybody. No, this is like the plant room. So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yep.
Hamby, really? Is that more than you have at your house?
Yeah, we got like 15. That's more than 15.
Oh yeah, we have like what do you call like a plant, like an apiary something? What do you call like
actuary?
Yeah, there we go. Actuary. Yeah, it's kind of like an actuary in here.
Hell, are you guys?
That's what it's called.
Judge, please don't take the plants. What you got? A little laying down the law. Brought to you by Kenny Lay and Associates, menonlyfamilylaw.only.com. What do we got?
Shout out to homie. I found my gavel just.
Look at that. There you go. Where'd you find it? It had fallen between the seats, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go.
But good news, guys. I got it. So we are good to go. I don't have the thing that I usually bang on, so I'm just kidding. Mostly a holiday edition of the segment, but I do have a Jags one first.
Okay.
I think it's, we'll let Brent go first. Brent, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know if you heard, are pretty okay at football. But the Jags would have 2 less wins if they did what you suggested to start the season, and that would be trade Parker Washington. They would or would not have 2 less wins traded Parker Washington.
I did not say that, by the way.
Go back. I mean,
boy, that's a really good one. Okay, here we go.
Don't count.
I'm not doing the 3, 2, 1. I just did. I think the Jaguars would have 2 less wins probably if they traded Parker Washington and didn't have him. I think he's been that valuable to this football team. I think his punt return game and being able to deliver in those spots. So even if that one of those doesn't work out, you might not win one of those games. And obviously this was his game. The Jags, I'm not sure if they didn't have another weapon like him, would have been able to feed, say, a Brenton Strange or a Tim Patrick the way they fed Parker Washington, the way he delivered for them. And, you know, somewhere along the way, you might not even be the big plays of Parker Washington. I think his precise route running also presents a threat to the defense, and then also the punt return game in general presents a threat to the defense. So it might not just be the games where he's been highlighted that you might have lost, but it might have been some other games that you won where he was part of it, even though he doesn't stick out in the box score. So, yeah, fair enough. I think Parker's been that valuable to this football team, and I think he will continue to be here over the next couple of weeks and into the playoffs.
Austen?
Yep. So while Parker Washington obviously has won the team a couple of games, it seems like, had obviously the best player on offense against the Denver Broncos, he wouldn't have won the team 2 games because they would have found somebody else to go to. And this is the beauty of the Liam Cohen defense, or of the Liam Cohen offense, because it's not just one guy. It's the sum of its parts. So if it wasn't Tim Patrick, or if it wasn't Parker Washington against the Denver Broncos, then it might have been Tim Patrick, right? Because if you want to sit here and say Parker Washington's this great wide receiver, where was he the past 3 or 4 weeks? He was an afterthought, and he was an afterthought going into that Broncos game. And that's why he had so much success, because when they were trying to double team Jacoby Myers, when they put Surtain on BTJ to try to take over the deep routes, Parker Watson was forgot about. So, yes, he is a great wide receiver, make no mistake about it. But they still would have won that game without him because it would have been the next man up. And that's kind of been the theme of this Jaguars team this year. It's always the next man up.
Hamby?
In the Jags' 2 overtime wins this year, Parker was 8 for 90 and 5 for 71 in a touchdown. Winner Brent.
Austin's going to have to fight for his life here. Come on.
I bet I will.
Yeah, and he'll start this out. Out of all of the Christmas characters, talking your Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus even, any Christmas character you can think of, the real and honest Christmas goat character is the man who stole Christmas himself, the Grinch. Yes or no?
I disagree. This will probably lose me the game, but I don't care. This is me like not going for the win. This is me staying true to myself. I think the greatest Christmas character of all time, and this is going to be up for debate. I get it, and we're talking like animated, right? We're not going to talk like Macaulay Culkin, like in Home Alone, or can we do anything?
Here comes the anime character.
You could pick Kevin McAllister if you would like, but you can also,
Okay, so here's my greatest Christmas character of all time, and this is the Travis Hunter effect. Give me Jack Skeleton. Because not only is Jack Skeleton the greatest Christmas character of all time in terms of merchandise, in terms of helping put Tim Burton on the map and everything, he might be also the greatest Christmas character of all time. Because not only is Nightmare Before Christmas a great Halloween movie, but it's also a great Christmas movie. So he's the king of Halloween and he's the king of Christmas. I think that says something in itself right there in being a character. Like, why not dominate one holiday? Dominate two of them. So go and give me Jack Skeleton, who put Christmas on the map, but also put Halloween on the map.
That's a next level answer, Brent. What do you got about the
It's
Grinch?
next level. I appreciate it. But man, this might be the first sweep of all time here on the laying down the law. And I think the Grinch is the best character because I think you need a villain. We know it in sports. You need a hero. You need a villain. And I think you need the villain here around the holidays to elevate the other characters that we all know and love, from little kids all the way up to the top. So the Grinch, one of the greatest villains we have, and for that reason, the greatest character.
Hamby? Brent didn't have much there. I don't think he's ever heard of the Grinch.
Didn't need much. Keep it simple.
Got
Oh, man.
I mean, we got to hear a third question. What are we doing here?
Winner Austen.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you familiar with Jack Skellington?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know. I know that wouldn't have hit his ears very well either.
Blink-182 had a song about Jack Skeleton, didn't have a song about the Grinch.
Onward.
All right, here we go.
It's been a tough hour for Hamby.
Yeah, Brent. Brent, you start for the win here. Out of the 2 days that are, I know one's not technically a holiday, but Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the actual elite and better day is Christmas Eve.
Without question. Hands down, Christmas Eve to me is the better day. For a variety of reasons. I feel like when I go back, at least as a kid, that's where a lot of the traditions were for us, like, and more of the fun traditions, not just going over like grandma's house or going to church, everything else, but even some of those you would have on Christmas Eve. But you're around more, I think, people you look forward to being around once a year or twice a year, and you go to those parties. The food seemed better on Christmas Eve than it did even on Christmas Day. And then you obviously throw in the anticipation, whether you are a kid or an adult, that anticipation leading up to seems to be better than the delivery of the actual day. And heck, even the music and the if you go to church on Christmas Eve, midnight mass or something like that, feels like it's longer, better, and everything. So hands down, you give me Christmas Day to work or Christmas Eve to work, I'm going to say I'll work Christmas Day, and I'm taking Christmas Eve off. It's the better of the two.
Austen, you got to fight for Christmas Day here, and I don't know if you caught at the end. I think Brent might have been playing the jury.
Oh yeah, playing the jury for sure. Like, listen, yeah, you know what's awesome, and once again, this is me being. I'm not gonna pander to the jury here. I'm staying true to myself. Like, yeah, going to church is cool, but hey, you know what's even cooler? I guess going to church when it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're tired and you'd rather be doing anything else, right? So that's how I feel about that. Now, when we talk about Christmas Day compared to Christmas Eve, I don't know, man. What's better? Thinking about getting a PS5 or getting a PS5 on Christmas Day? Like, Christmas Day is the ultimate king because that's when you wake up. You're excited to see what Santa brings you. There's the excitement and the joy of opening and unwrapping those gifts. Who cares about waiting? Like, yeah, we can sit here and say it's going to be fun watching the Jacksonville Jaguars go to the Super Bowl. You know what's going to be even funner? Celebrating a Jacksonville Jaguars Super Bowl win. Right. And that's what Christmas Day is. It's the Super Bowl. It's the celebration. It's not going to church at 10 o'clock at night. It's so much more stuff to do on Christmas Day and enjoying your gifts. Because keep in mind, and if you want to be one of those kids that opens up their gifts on Christmas Eve, okay, so you get your bike. Are you going to go out there in the pitch black and ride your bike? Probably not. So save it for Christmas Day. That's the better one.
Oh man, Hamby, one played the spiritual side of the jury, the other played the emotional side with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And a new bike.
Who is the final winner?
Yeah, I appreciate the nod to the Christmas Eve services. I'm definitely looking forward to ours tomorrow. That being said, there was one thing. Hold on before you pump your fist. There was one easy answer I felt that could be given for why Christmas Day is better. Christmas Day has 3 NFL football games. That answer was not included. Winner.
Did you see the games?
Did you see the games?
Did you see who's playing?
I don't care. It's still NFL football.
Did you see who's playing?
To watch.
Fantasy football's done, and did you see who's playing? Okay, whatever, Hamby.
Wow. How about you, Judge? Yeah. Christmas. I know.
What did he say here?
He said Christmas Eve.
Oh, sorry, Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah. Oh no, dude. It's Christmas Eve all day. Like,
you did. I thought you did a good job. I thought you did a really good job.
I tried, man. I tried, but it is Christmas Eve all day.
To the Super Bowl. That was good.
That was good. No, you did. See, I felt very strongly about both of the Christmas ones because I'm a big Grinch guy.
Are you?
Yeah. So if I would have been ruling, it would have been yes, Grinch and Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah. But and if we're being honest, if I wasn't staying true to myself, I was just going to say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was the greatest character because without him, Christmas would have been possible. But like, I had to stay true to Jack Skeleton.
You can go a lot of different ways.
No, I thought it was a good answer actually. Like, there's an argument there. Like, if Hamby would have been,
he did win.
Like it worked. I thought it wasn't too bad.
I thought for sure Hamby was going to go like, yeah, Jack Skeleton, Tim Burton, a little too dark for my taste, kind of in that Harry Potter realm.
I think
right?
he kind of wanted to. If he went,
I definitely wanted to.
I think he kind of wanted to, but he couldn't. All right, hey, that is Laying Down the Law, presented by Kenny Lane Associates, menonlyfamilylawonly.com. Give them a call, 904-541-1252, menonlyfamilylawonly.com. All right, let's get to the spreads before we get out of here and enjoy the Christmas break. We now have 6 NFL games.
Presented by Mason's Famous Lobster.
And we are going to have to move the 2 lines a little bit, one way or another.
Excuse me.
Which we will do. But, or did you already do it? And this is just he already did it. I thought he was working on it. So here's
Can we see the standings one more time real quick just so we can just see where we're at?
Yes.
We don't want to show those. That has been obliterated. Fine. We lost that full screen.
Those ones are right, from what I understand.
I think you guys are 2 back, right?
Okay, we're 2 back from
Fought
sports.
to 500.
Okay.
You've only lost the juice.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You guys.
And then Brent and Hamby playing for pride. All right, got it.
All right. Hey, we're going to give it our all to the end. No, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who you guys up? Texans, Chargers. What do you think?
Casey, talk to me.
I don't trust the Chargers. I know they're at home. Texans got more to play for, I think. Chargers got in last night.
They did.
They did get in.
So the Texans are the only ones not in?
Texans are the only ones technically not in, yeah.
Texans got more to play for here. Defense. I don't trust the Chargers. I do not trust them. The the 1.5 points doesn't really matter to me either way. So if you feel super strongly about the Chargers, then but I don't trust them.
Yeah. So I actually lean Chargers here just because since the Hamptons come back, they've been a different team. Herbert's kind of found a little something, but playing against the Cowboys will allow that. But Casey, I'm going to defer to you. This will be the Casey pick if you want to have the Casey pick. If you want to take the Texans, I'm cool with the Texans.
All right. We'll take the Chargers.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome. Good job, guys.
Next up is the Seahawks and the Panthers. I kind of like the Panthers
Hold
here.
on. The sports office has...
Was this one of the original ones?
Yeah, have you checked?
Yes. Sports office has Texans.
Oh, son of a...
It's only 2 games, man. Yeah, I don't know if you need to be different every time now.
Hamby, you screwed us, bro. You should have told us before.
All right, Seahawks, Panthers. I'm leaning the Panthers with the +6.5. I think that place is going to be ready to roll for this game. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm about ready to start betting against stop betting against the Panthers because they seem to just weasel into 3-point games. So why not?
The crazy part is they're kind of like an on and off again team. Who were you guys saying about like Jahmyr Gibbs the other day? Right, it was kind of like that. 3 touchdowns, none, 3 or none.
Yep,
I feel like the Panthers are that team. But I got to believe they'll be nuts. Seahawks around Christmas time coming across the country. I'm a little surprised the spread's 6.5. It seems like, or 7. A big spread. We'll take the Panthers.
Casey, I mean, I have a pick for sure, but I want to hear your thoughts first because you have your beat on the Carolina Panthers.
It was not pretty last week, and the Bucs are significantly worse than the Seahawks. I think this.
Yeah, because this game doesn't mean anything for the Carolina Panthers. Like, they have to win next week to go to the playoffs. So, I think the Seahawks still have a lot more to play for, and I get they're traveling to the East Coast, but go and give us the Seahawks.
The Seahawks always good on the road. We will say
Sports
that.
office had the Seahawks too.
Jaguars and the Colts. It's 6.5. Huh? That hasn't moved much. It's still 6.5. It actually started out, I think, at 5.5, and it moved to 6.5. So a lot of love on the Jags here.
Jags.
Oh, I can't.
Was that your answer?
I'm not hearing him.
Jags.
He
wasn't saying anything. That's why you weren't hearing anything.
Oh,
gotcha. No, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah, I mean, I think the Jags obviously win. Do they win by a touchdown?
I mean, the Colts are pretty bad, right? Like,
did you watch
Their
last night?
defense is bad.
Nope, didn't watch 1 second of that. Did they lose?
Yes.
Did they lose big?
Yes.
Did they lose big to a team that the Jaguars beat?
Yes.
Did George
All
Kittle
right,
get hurt?
Jags.
Yes.
Well, ankle. We'll see if he comes back. All right. Yeah, let's go with the Jags.
All right, we'll take the Colts here because we need a sweeper. We're going to get rolling. Ravens, Packers. Are we up next? Yeah,
Yes.
Ravens, Packers. Oof. This has got to be the Packers, right, Hamby?
Yeah, I'm not betting on the Ravens.
Yeah, no way.
This is Malik Willis, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Casey. Ravens.
Ravens.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Eagles and Bills. That one's you guys? Yeah, Eagles and Bills. Good game. Both still playing for seeding.
By the way,
and a lot.
Sports Office has sent in their new picks for all 6 games.
Okay, who'd they pick, Eagles or Bills?
Bills.
Eagles.
Oh, okay. Bills.
We'll take the Bills.
Yes, we will.
I hope you're right.
And then the Bears and 49ers. 49ers, 2.5 mana. They're rolling.
Considering I haven't made a pick yet, we're taking the 49ers.
Okay, let's do it.
Austin, you know more about the Bears than I do. What's the pick?
I actually kind of like the 49ers here too as well. But who the Sports Office take?
They took the Niners.
Son of a!
Man.
Y'all took the Eagles, right?
Yes.
They took the Eagles too?
Sports Office took
No,
the
they got Bills.
49ers, the Bills. Who else?
The Ravens.
You guys both took the Ravens. Jags or Colts?
Jags.
Seahawks.
Texans. They have all the same picks except for the Bills, Eagles so far.
Wow, and we've got 6 different ones. Let's go. Let's go get
and
it.
y'all are 2 games back, so if y'all want to tie it up, you got to take the Bears.
I think we take the Niners. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, we live to fight another day, Casey. We'll see him next week again.
Right,
We're taking the Niners.
All right.
We're taking the Niners.
All right. Hey, have a Merry Christmas, everybody. You guys, too. Safe travels, Austin. And we'll see you back here next week, hopefully talking about the Jags and maybe winning the AFC South. They'll need the Texans to lose and the Jags to win to make that happen this weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Club 904 coming up next with me, O'Brien. And check us out tonight, Jaguars All Access at Strings with Parker Washington, 7 o'clock, live on Fox 30 as well. Got a little Christmas music?
The hell is going on?
Merry Christmas.
End the show.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is